If the Jets got you down and you've been feeling blue, then the time is now for something new. The times have changed, there's a reason for hope, as long as you don't let go of that rope. It's our time to win, it's the reason they play. Jets football is back, it's a brand new day. They improve the deck and they raise the floor. They added the weapons so this team can score. Some will have breakouts while others make their mark. The winds of change are blowing right through Florham Park. Yes, the Jets are back, I don't care what they say. Things are different now, it's a brand new day. Good things can happen, they will earn our trust when the sun finally shines down on all of us. Fans who suffered and lived through the pain will celebrate together after winning each game. Let's all follow Glenn as he leads the way toward the postseason. It's a brand new day. Fans come together and make sure you stay. The Jets' time is now. It's a brand new day.
All right, Jets fans, New York Jet football is back. The veterans reported today for training camp, and tomorrow we will have our first practice, and we will actually be able to break down what the players are doing on the field. That's right, Jets football is back, baby. So let's get fired up.
Rickie, New York is about to go live. We've been through hell, but we still survive. So call it now, I want all the smoke. I'm here to give fans a reason to hope. They continue to build, and soon enough, the Jets will be winning. Now let's get fired up.
All right. Thank you to everybody for joining me. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. We are only 13 subscribers away from hitting 400, which is our goal for the preseason. Thank you to all our new subscribers. If you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching over on X, you have to be on YouTube to subscribe. So come on over, hit that subscribe button. And while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button as hard as you can. And like every other show this month, this show is dedicated to my beautiful wife, Cheryl, my best friend. So, training camp is here. The wait is over. We finally get to see this product on the field. And I, for one, cannot wait. I'm so curious to see so many things. Mainly, where are they going to line guys up? That was my big question. I started that topic last week and will continue today. Is Pons going to be in the slot? Is he going to be outside? Who are our starting corners going to be? Who are our starting safeties going to be? Opposite Minka. Who will be the starters in our defensive line rotation? Those are all questions that should be answered this coming week. Looking forward to it. We should have some really good guests coming on during training camp and the preseason. One of them I just heard back from today. And so hopefully I can get the details of that worked out. I'm not going to announce anything until things are finalized, but keep your eyes and ears peeled because we have some exciting guests coming up for you. Hep, good to see you. Valerie, Derek, everyone in the chat. Hope everybody's having a great weekend and, week rather. And I hope y'all are ready for some Jets football because it is here. It is back. It is time. So, that being said, let me go ahead and jump right into it. I'm looking forward to this. I keep saying that, but I can't wait. I can't wait for that first practice to happen and to see these guys in action. Tonight, I'm going to be going over the defensive side of the ball, what I'm looking for. Like I said, where guys line up. I'm going to start out with the defensive line. This, I think, is going to be the strongest unit on the entire team, bar none. And I know that everybody keeps saying that the offensive line is going to be a big, plus for us. And I agree with that, but I think the defensive line is going to be even better. We have Tavondre Sweat. We have Harrison Phillips. We have David Amenyata. And you know what? All three of those guys ranked in the top 10 versus the run. All three guys. When you have three top 10 run defenders that you can put on the field at the same time, man, let me tell you what. Other teams are going to have a lot of trouble running against us. I think that's going to be, the focal point of our defense, stopping the run. That's always Aaron Glenn's top priority. Aaron Glenn, that's his philosophy. You run the ball, you stop the run. So that unit, I think, is going to be awesome for us. And then naturally, when we get to passing downs, you'll probably see Phillips rotate out and Briggs rotate in. It, had 4 sacks and limited snaps last year and was really good for us. But, yeah, that defensive line is going to be a strong point. I want to see how Enigbari and Osai are used. I want to see what the snap counts are going to look like. There's a lot we can learn. And I understand that, during the preseason, they keep it kind of vanilla. They don't really want to show their hand. You don't really get a lot of game planning or scheming. They keep it pretty simple. However, just by virtue of snap count, where guys are lined up, I think we can still learn a lot from that. Linebackers, I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on because, we know we've got Demario Davis, who's as reliable and solid as you could possibly ask for. Jamie Sherwood, hopefully ready for a bounce back year. Now that he doesn't have to think, now that he doesn't have to be a leader, he can just go out there and read and react and play. So I'm going to move right into the secondary. And this is, again, one of the more curious battles to me is going to be our starting corners. Uh, Brandon Stevens, and why this is, I'm not sure. But every insider that I've listened to, whether it's Nick Faria, Omari Brown, who's awesome. I love listening to his takes. Or if it's Rich Samini, like all of them say, Brandon Stevens has cemented himself into that CB1 role. I'm not sure why. And I understand, like, Stevens played better down the stretch last year. If you look at just stat wise, he was better down the stretch last year, but he also gave up the most passing touchdowns in the league. And that's not good. So I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't think that his job is quite as solidified as what some people say. I want to see, how are they going to use Nashawn Wright? Is Azareye'h Thomas going to be able to step up and take one of those jobs? I was listening to somebody last night who said, who we start out the year with may not be who we end the year with, and actually predicted that Azareye'h Thomas and D'Angelo Pons would be our two outside corners before the end of the year. That would be a really curious development. And I could see that happening. And then you still have Brownlee in the slot, which the Brownlee and Pons battle for that nickel corner position is probably the battle I'm looking most forward to in camp, because you're talking about two fiery, aggressive, physical guys. And I'm looking really super forward to that one. Additionally, and we've still got Stiggers. I mean, we've got a loaded cornerback room. So that's not a bad thing. We're probably deeper at corner now than we have been in recent memory. And safeties as well. Who's going to be that other safety along with Minka? I have a funny feeling it's going to be Dane Belton, who he's a special teams ace, but he also logged a lot of snaps for the Giants. That 4% missed tackle rate is nothing to ignore. That's awesome. Guy's a solid tackler, does not miss tackles, and I can see him being our kind of in the box safety. There's going to be a lot of times where we run a 3 safety look. I've said before, I can picture Belton down close in the box, Minka in that kind of intermediate to short, area. Hopefully to be able to get some picks on passes like that. And then either Cisco or more deep. But really, I'm curious to see, are they going to slide Minka into the nickel? If so, who are safeties going to be in that formation? Like, there's a lot that we can learn from this, and I'm looking forward to it. I know it seems like probably like I kind of skipped over special teams altogether. However, the kicking battle, dude, I don't think it's going to be much of a battle. I think Sanders is going to win it outright. He was a really good, really consistent kicker when healthy. I know he missed all of last year, but dude, they've got doctors that have checked him out. They've worked him out. I think that battle is going to be over before it begins. So at any rate, I'm looking really, really forward to seeing this defense on the field. I can't wait to see what Glenn's got cooked up for this year. And with that, I'm getting ready to bring on our first caller, and we'll see what he has to say about all this.
Let's get fired up.
And Derek, what's up, brother?
Rickie, what's up, brother, man? How are we?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. Jets football is finally back, man. The wait is finally over. Thank goodness.
Thank God. Let's go. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. I cannot wait to get this thing underway, man. Like it's been a long wait, and finally, it's here. So we got. What are your thoughts? On what I've touched on so far, mainly the defensive line and the corner room, in particular. What are your thoughts there?
So I was listening to. I really loved. I asked Joe Blute on the Asman show today how he felt about our overall depth at corner this year, and he said that he really likes our depth 2 through 5, but he wasn't quite certain who's going to be our number one actual corner. I know it might be going out on kind of a limb here. Brandon Stevens, for a lot of last season, was one of the highest rated PFF corners in the whole league. Um, so hopefully he can get back to some sort of form of that. And Jarvis Brownlee was a great nickel for large part of the season too. I mean, until he got banged up. But I'm more intrigued to see if AZ Thomas. I wouldn't be surprised if AZ Thomas maybe fills out that first or second cornerback role. And D'Angelo Pons drafted 50th overall. I got really high hopes for him. If he was 2 or 3 inches taller, he probably would have been top 5 draft pick.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, I love Pons a lot. I got him picking off Cam Ward in week 1 in Nashville, game in which I'm going to be there. Very excited for that. Um,
Nice.
I think when you look at what Muji has done in terms of filling out this roster on defense as a whole, I know I can't remember who said it. Somebody said that we have a bottom 3 roster in the National Football League. I think it was the guest that Jake had on in the morning show. Respect the opinion. I gotta disagree wholeheartedly. When I look around the National Football League, I think the Jets have a lot more talent and positions than a lot of other teams in the NFL. To your point about the defense, I mean, I look at Osai and Igbari and Mika Fitzpatrick, Nashawn Wright. I see too much to be optimistic about before I just want to shut it down and be pessimistic.
Yep. I completely agree. And oh man, you had just mentioned something, and now it's gone. Like it was there 1 minute, and now it's gone.
It'll come back.
Uh,
It's about Pawns.
about the roster. Okay,
Oh,
and I've heard some people say some things like that. I might have heard it the same place you did. However, how many teams in the NFL have a first round and a second round tight end as their 2 starters? How many teams in the NFL have 2 first round wide receivers and a second round wide receiver as their top 3 receivers? We do.
yeah. We
That
definitely
doesn't sound like a bottom 3 roster to me. I'm sorry.
no. Yeah.
And looking at the guys that we've added, like you mentioned, Enigbari, Amanyata, Osai, all those guys, dude, we're not going to have that fall off anymore. Where when we rotate guys, all of a sudden the guys that we're putting out there are a complete liability. That's not going to be the case this year. So yeah, there's just too many positives to just go negative all the time. And
Yeah.
listen, there's going to be people that they're going to find a negative no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And that first time that Gino throws a pick, you're going to have people that are yelling for Klubnik and calling for Glenn's job, and it's. I'm not wasting my time or my energy on that. Like
Yeah.
until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to roll with this thing, man. I think we're in good shape. I love the way that they've redone this roster. Said it many times right here on this show. This build is a complete rebuild, top to bottom. They gutted the coaching staff. There's all 3 phases of the ball. There's nothing that has been untouched. So I like it, and granted, after last year, a lot of changes were called for and needed. But I think they've addressed each of those issues. I mean, yes, could we use maybe more depth at linebacker? Yeah. You know, do we have a question at backup quarterback? Yeah, until we see what Klubnik can do, like we do still. And I think if he struggles at all during camp or in the earlier part of the preseason, I think that we're going to see a veteran added. It may be until cut down day, when
Yeah.
other teams let guys go before that happens. But we've seen it in the past. It happened last year with the defensive tackle position, where going into the season they weren't happy, and so he went and brought in Briggs and Phillips. So I expect something similar this year, and the same could be said with linebacker too. If those backups, are not taking a step, we'll see if Kiko can take a step. If Walker or McCrary Ball can offer anything. But if they don't, I have complete confidence in Muji to make a move and bring somebody in. Which, by the way, I said it. I told Boy Green this morning. Muji has made 13 trades in 12 months. That's more than one a month, and it's been over a month since we've had a trade. So, by that rationale, he's overdue. Like we're due for something. We're due for a Muji move. And as I, was going to tell him that this morning, I look and turn on X, and first thing, boom, Vita Vea request trade. And I'm like, oh, yeah, baby. Oh, God. Could you imagine that? Vita Vea, Tavondre Sweat, David Amanyata, defensive line. That would be just so nasty. And yeah, I'm talking a little bit crazy. Dude, first of all, I do not think Vita Vea gets traded at all. I think this is just a standard. I want a new contract. They're not ponying up the money. I'm going to ask for a trade and grease the wheels on this thing and get it moving a little bit faster. I mean, that's standard. Every time a guy's in a contract dispute, he asks for a trade. Yeah. And, 9 times out of 10, the team ends up getting something done because that's kind of like the player's go-to move, when things aren't progressing as quickly as they want. And you know what? It works. The majority of the time it works.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat McAfee mentioned that on the show today. He thinks that the trade request is just him trying to leverage for an extension on his contract. And he's only 31. And I mean, with Todd Bowles being the head coach, we knows how he loves his defensive lineman. I'd be surprised to see him move. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like him per se. I mean, depending on what we'd have to pay him, but with our needs at linebacker and the interior offensive line, I'm not sure if it's a pressing need at this moment. But we'll see what happens. You never know. Joe Douglas was always, John Franklin Myers, Quincy Williams. There's always these guys that fall on the waiver wire, So we'll see what kind of moves that Muji can make, because I think that he's smart enough to look at the depth at linebacker, and there's probably going to be somebody that falls through the cracks, and even if it's somebody over like a McCreary Ball or like a Tyler Barron or somebody else like that who can maybe play linebacker. I got faith that Muji will fill the slots whenever the time comes.
Yeah, I do too. And like I said, this is probably no more than a contract negotiation tool at this point, because that's the thing. Like, these kids all do it, Contracts not going well, I'm going to request a trade. Contract talk still not going well, remove all team info from my social media. And those are the steps. And granted, it's a business, depending on, a lot of different factors, are they under contract? Are they a free agent? Or do they have other interest? Whatever. These guys only have so many tools at their disposal to try to get things done from their end.
It's a smart.
So, from that perspective, I get it. But dude, like, as fans, anytime somebody, good becomes available, we're like, oh, and Yeah, I remember, obviously this predates, Adam Gase by just a little bit, but I remember one year I was like, dude, I want Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley, and like my buddy was like, bro, this isn't fucking fantasy football, okay? You can't just go out and grab all the good players. And then we ended
Yeah.
up getting both of them, and I was ecstatic. I didn't realize at the time that Le'Veon Bell was going to be a shell of his former self, and that whole thing would play out the way that it did.
Or how bad of a
Uh,
coach Adam Gase would inevitably end up
dude,
being.
like that was such a just a train wreck. The whole thing, like Adam Gase should have never been hired to begin with. But watching him sit Le'Veon Bell on the sideline and just run Frank Gore to death, and like it killed me. And
It was tough.
you guys know, uh, Curtis Martin is my all-time favorite athlete, any sport, hands down, not even close. And to see him lose his ranking in the top 10 rushers of all time and watch Frank Gore surpass him because he played 19 fucking years or something,
Yeah.
it irritated at me. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there were a lot of things about that Adam Gase regime that I really hated, but that was one of the big ones right there. And like, you know what? I don't even want to talk about that anymore. I don't even want to
It's
think about that shit anymore. We got a lot of positives going on right now. I don't want to
do.
think about the negatives from our past. I'd rather focus on what's going on right now.
No
And
doubt, brother.
yeah, right now things look good, man. Things look good for us. I like the direction we're headed, and as I said earlier, this morning talking to BG, I asked him, I was like, in the last 30 years, when's the last time the Jets had a first and second round tight end as our two starters? The
That's a
answer
good
is
question.
we haven't.
Yeah.
When have we had two first round wide receivers and a second rounder as our top three in the last 30? It hasn't happened, period.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think we're set up really well. We got enough weapons that we should, looking at it on paper, we should be a nightmare matchup for anybody going against us because
Speed.
that ball can go anywhere. You got Garrett and AD on the outside, most likely Cooper in the slot. Then you've got Sadiq and Mason Taylor. You've got Brees coming out of the backfield. Isaiah Davis, also very good catching out of the backfield. I mean, we've got so many weapons that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a real problem if Frank Reich can be creative in the least bit. This should be a real problem for other teams.
I think so too. I asked Joe Blewett on Jake's show a couple hours ago. Heck yeah, have a good one, Cisco. Always good seeing
Yep,
you,
have a
brother.
good one, Cisco. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
I asked Joe Blewett if there was any Jets player like going into training camp that nobody's really talking about that he could maybe see having a good training camp. And I found it interesting. With all the film that he watches, he brought up Arian Smith maybe being able to take over that wide receiver 4 spot over a banged up Tim Patrick right now. And I thought that was very interesting because I think that'd just be another notch in Muji's belt if 4th round draft pick Arian Smith out of Georgia, who I think ran the fastest 40 time last year in the draft, but he had a drop problem at Georgia. I would love to see a guy like him emerge. And one of the first thoughts that popped into my mind was Juwan Briggs, who I feel like nobody's talking about him, but he played a very pivotal role in a team that was just declining and just playing with not a lot of motivation last year. So I'm very intrigued to see when the pads pop on, which one of these guys actually want to be a Jet. It's I don't know. It's just it's cool to your point. I love the thing about Muji is he's getting voted as one of the better GMs in the NFL by a lot of his peers, and I can't sit idly by and just cast that aside. I think it's noteworthy, and to your point, when you look at the way that we have 3 firsts this year and we got 3 firsts next year. So even though we traded up for Omar Cooper, over the Bills, which I loved. So that's 3 rookies that we have in the first round with a 5th-year option, and then we get 3 first in the next year. So that's 6 draft picks in the first round that we can have 5th-year options on, and I think that's going to be very beneficial in the team going forward. And if Muji's first 4 picks in the top 50 hit, man, I don't see how you can be too negative, at least on the future of the team going into 2027, especially with how loaded next year's draft class is. I'm very excited. I'm glad you are.
I am. Yeah, I am too, man. Like next year's draft class, it's got so much talent in it, and I'm hoping we can get our quarterback and still land a couple of other premier players with those 3 first rounders, and not really have to trade up or down or lose any of them. I want to use all 3.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, dude, Leonard Moore, the corner from Notre Dame. Oh my God, is so fucking good, dude. Like, and I saw stuff this morning where people are saying he's the best corner prospect to come out since Jalen Ramsey. And Sir Luca, man, what's happening, brother?
Luca, what's up, brother?
Like, dude, he's really, really good. And also his teammate, Hey Johnson, the safety, dude, this guy is a ball hawk, and we need that center fielder. We need that guy in the deep middle. And I've been jonesing for just like a playmaking safety. I don't want just some guy back there. I want the guy back there.
Yeah.
And so I'm super high on him. KJ Bolden, another really good safety that's coming out. But if Pons or Azaria or one of those guys steps up where corner isn't a need, dude, give me Colin Simmons, give me Dylan Stewart, give me one of those killer fucking pass rushers to put across from Bailey moving forward. And then we can, trade McDonald and probably get a hell of a return, knowing Muji's track record.
Yeah.
What you were saying about how Muji is already being regarded as one of the better GMs in the league.
Amongst his peers.
Yeah, those Sauce and Quinnen trades are what made that happen. Like especially the Sauce trade, dude. Getting 80 Mitchell and 2 firsts for Sauce,
insane.
That's going to go down as one of the best trades ever, I think. Because
the players pan out. I think so too.
Yeah, especially if AD really breaks out this year the way that I expect him to. We made out so good in that deal. I can't even say.
Yeah, because Sadiq was the Colts pick.
Yep.
16. So, yeah, you got Sadiq, AD Mitchell, and if you hit on the first next year. So, as much as you love Leonard from Notre Dame, because I think you were the one that told me you could see the Colts regressing quite a bit in the or the Cowboys or Packers. So say one of those 3 teams gets a top 10 pick and we're in the top 10. Would you maybe bypass for a Jeremiah Smith, a generational type receiver, over a defensive back? Or do we got to see some games be played first and see how our secondary pans out against throughout a full season this year?
This is my thought on that is, listen, Jeremiah Smith, he's not going to be just a top 10 pick. He'll probably be a top 3 pick. Yeah. And even say we're picking 3rd, the 2 teams ahead of us, if neither of them are a quarterback needy team, and I understand quarterback needy teams might want to pony up extra to move up and get their guy, whatever, be it Arch or Moore or whoever the guy might be. I don't think that people are in a big hurry to trade out of that spot.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he is a generational talent. And honestly, I see Jeremiah Smith probably going in the top 2 picks.
I could see
I could actually see him go number 1 overall. I don't think he makes it past 2. I don't think he makes it to 3 even. So
we're gonna have to hope that those top 2 picks need a quarterback, or even the top 3 need a quarterback, because it's going to be a pretty good quarterback draft class too. So it's going to be interesting. This year I had Cornell Tate pegged as my number 1 receiver coming into this draft. I don't know how well he'll do on the Titans because I'm not sold on Cam Ward just yet. Hey, what up, Kel? But yeah, that's a good point, Ricky. I could definitely see Jeremiah Smith. Heck, I mean, he might go number one overall. I mean, you never know. I think he's that good.
Yeah, I do too. And so that's why I haven't really been talking too much about Jeremiah Smith. Yes, he's Gino's cousin. You can make a really loose connection there, but uh, I just don't think we're going to have a chance at him. But that being said, dude, there's a lot of other good players,
Yeah.
and
True.
yeah, I haven't dug fully into this draft class yet. I've started doing a little bit of my summer scouting stuff. I don't get, as involved as some of these people. I know Dom and those guys, like they'll do 300 and something prospects every year.
Yeah.
Last year I did 183 guys, and I literally could not have done film on one more guy because I just didn't have the time. Like, if I didn't have to work at a regular job and I had more time to spend on it, dude, I would probably sit here and do nothing but watch film all day, every day. Unfortunately, real life has demands that I can't ignore. And so, I do as much work on that stuff as I can. But that being said, this is a really good draft class. There's a lot of talent. It's a really good safety group, a very good quarterback group, like we talked about.
Insane.
So, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm keeping an eye on the linebackers for next year too, because, dude, we're going to have a need at linebacker. We're eventually going to have to replace DeMario. We may end up needing to replace them both. So, in a lot of the drafts I did, I took 2 linebackers. The most recent one that I did a couple of days ago, I took naturally Darian Mensah near the top of the draft because that's my guy.
I like Mensah too.
And I get shit grades on him because, dude, I think the most recent one that I did, I think they have like Mensah ranked like 74th overall or something like that. And so I'm like,
It's
well,
ridiculous.
technically, if you want to do it like that, then, dude, I was like ignoring quarterback in the first round and the second for that matter. Like, I'm like, okay, great. And I'm loading up, dude. I'm getting Leonard Moore and Colin Simmons and Tay Johnson. And then, the second round comes around. I get Sammy Brown, the linebacker from Clemson. And then I move up a little bit and snag our center. And then, like, here I am in the 4th round, and I'm drafting a franchise quarterback where we took Klubnik last year. And yeah, that's completely unrealistic, but I didn't make the mock simulator. If they want to rank him that low, hey, I'll take it. Even though it's completely unrealistic, but most of the time what I do is I go ahead and I take Mensah in the top 10 anyway. They'll give me a D or an F because I took him so much higher than what they had him ranked. And so my grades look really crappy.
Yeah.
But I want it to be somewhat realistic. Like,
I'm high on Mensah. He won an ACC championship at Duke with no weapons and no O line. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's a Heisman front runner the first 6 weeks into the season next year.
Oh yeah, and Barkay, his best receiver from Duke, went to Miami with him, so he does have that weapon. But then he's also got Malachi Toney down there, who's like super explosive. Good.
He reminds me of Tyreek Hill, but better, more refined already in college. I feel like. Yeah, I'm high on Toney.
He reminds me more of like Santana Moss because he like that smaller guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so dude, there's a lot to look forward to, man, and all these things that we talk about, depth at linebacker. Sharon, I love my unrealistic draft picks too.
That's awesome. Shout out to Sharon. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's fun, and I like doing the mocks and stuff. I did do a few this week just because I like picturing what it'll look like once this thing's complete. Once we put that bow on top and it's all completed and done. I'm excited to see what this will look like. But I wanted to go ahead and get all that out of my system because now that the year has officially started, there ain't going to be none of that mock draft shit. Not for a long time. We're not going to be doing those in October, November, December, none of that shit. For me, I'm like, no mock drafts until 2027. So, I will not do a mock, I promise, until after New Year.
Yeah, we'll worry about that when the time comes.
Exactly.
I got a segue. So instead of focusing like on the draft, that'll come when it comes. Is there anybody that you're looking forward to in particular, Rickie? Is there a player outside of like an AD Mitchell, somebody that you think's maybe not being talked about enough going into training camp that you have really, really high hopes for outside of, we'll say, like AD Mitchell?
Well, yeah, because that would be the obvious probably go-to one that I would go to. But, I want to see how Dane Belton is used in this defense. I'm curious about him. Like I said, that 4% missed tackle rate, I keep going back to that, but that's a really impressive stat.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Pons, I'm really anxious to see and excited to see.
Me too.
I would say I'll give you a couple. Tavondre Sweat, D'Angelo Pons, AZ Thomas.
Yes.
Those are probably my top three. And an honorable mention for Belton. So
I like Dane.
Yeah, I do too. What you were mentioning earlier about Arian Smith possibly taking that spot from Tim Patrick. Actually,
wide receiver
I think it may be Isaiah Williams that takes that spot from Patrick. Who's been training with some track guys, trying to improve his speed, and what was decent in spot duty last year, and looks like maybe he's ready to take another step. So I'm curious to see how he develops it and if he can add anything to this offense.
I like that. Yeah, Andy's only 25, so I think.
Yeah, he's still a young guy. So, and dude, the other day on X on Spaces, I was talking to Pete and Dom C and a bunch of guys in there, and the topic was special teams. And dude, people were going back and forth about the kicker and, say like, as good as our special teams was last year, we should expect a drop off this year. And man, I don't really see it. And technically, the Jets, we've had some good special teams over the years, whether it was Chad Morton or, we've had a lot of good returners. And so,
Washington, Joe McKnight.
So, Brad Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the guy's name. What was the kid's name that we had that was the good returner that ended up going to Buffalo? Him and Jason Myers were both Pro Bowlers that year, and we let them both go. Somebody in the chat help me out here.
It's gonna bug me.
Oh God,
Andre Roberts or no Codrington? Yes. Codrington.
No, Andre Roberts.
Yeah, Andre Roberts. Yeah.
Yes, you had it right the first time. Thank you. That was going to drive me nuts. I had it like right. I thought I had it right on the tip of my tongue. Actually, I didn't.
Yeah, Andre was solid. He had a couple tutties, I think.
Yeah, and dude, he was good. We let him go, and that was my point. Is like, we just let Folk go, but we let Myers go at one point. I wish we would have re-signed him. He's still in Seattle and still decent. But that being said, I'm not really as worried about Sanders as a lot of people are.
Yeah, me neither. I watched him drill 7 field goals against the Jets when he was at Miami.
Yeah, I was about to say he's
Yeah.
made several kicks in our stadium, and at least one of them that I know of was to beat us. So
Hell yeah. Yeah, Andre Roberts I liked a lot. I was kind of surprised they let him walk. As far as Nick Folk, I wonder how much of that was his decision. Did he want to go to Atlanta to kick in a dome, or did I don't know. I feel like I don't know if Muji would just not want to splurge on a kicker. I feel like he's the type of guy that knows how valuable it is. But I got a lot of faith in Banjo, and I'm definitely that's one of my training camp battles that I'm intrigued to see how Jason Sanders pans out and Cade versus Cade York. I'm more on the Sanders train because he's kicked in MetLife and been successful. But
me
they're both
too.
fairly young guys, and Sanders has a very like an 84.6 kick completion percentage. I think that number could be off, but I know I'm close. I'm very high on Sanders as well as Chris Banjo in general, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm all with you there. Like I'm definitely on the Sanders, camp when it comes to that. Nothing against Cade York, but
Yeah, yeah, he struggled a little bit. You kick in the AFC North, man. That's a lot of open stadiums with heavy wind in November and December. Yeah, I got a lot of I got too much faith in Chris Banjo to be worried about kicker. I'll more focus my concerns I think on the depth of this interior offensive line and linebacker for right now. But I still got enough faith in Muji. I think that we're gonna get these gaps filled up and definitely have a more than bottom three roster in the National Football. I just thought that was absolutely ludicrous. But I mean, I guess time will tell. The margin of winning in the National Football League is so slim. Like NFL record 73 games last year ended in by one team winning by one possession or less. That's 8 or less points. So like that's the margin of victory. We can just figure out how to win close games. 6 of our first 8 games last year we lost by one possession. Like 3 of those games went
yeah,
a different way. That's the difference between playing meaningful games in November and December or not, So I got a lot of faith, and when every team is 0-0 right now, I'll keep the faith even if it's blind. I'll drink the green Kool Aid, the Jets Kool Aid.
well, this is the thing. Okay, like I was talking about earlier, players when they want to get their contracts moving along more quickly, they
Mm-hmm.
ask for a trade. Uh, you know, uh, Content creators, when we don't have any Jets news to talk about, well, let's fire Aaron Glenn. That's the go-to move. Like certain people, people all have their go-to move. And when it
Yeah,
comes to the mainstream media, when they can't think of anything intelligent to say, their go-to move is to bag on the Jets. They've been able to do it for years. It's lazy journalism, but it is what it is. And we've given them plenty of ammo to come after us with.
yeah,
However, that being said, this is not that same Jets team. And these guys are going to have to start working for a living because they're not going to be able to use that go to move and just bag on the Jets because we're not that team anymore. And we're not a bottom three roster. And
definitely.
uh, the Jets are going to be much improved this year. We're headed in the right direction. And so all those days of, oh, I can't think of anything to say. I'll just go and rip the Jets. Those days are over with because we have a real team that's going to be ready to compete.
Now that is a hot take. Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ricky. I think most of the negative stuff could just comes from the mainstream media. Like I love coming home and I'll put on NFL Live or NFL Insiders, and it's some lazy take. People are just roasting the Jets. We could lose by 1 point in like a super competitive game, and they'll just find some way to rag on us just because we're the Jets. So yeah, to that point, I couldn't agree more. But I just think that there's too much to be excited about. Heck yeah,
Yeah,
Luke there. And
yeah,
he's our
I
head
do.
coach, so I'm not gonna root against him. Like if you're a Jets fan and you're rooting against Aaron Glenn, I don't know, man. I can't get behind that logic. He's our head coach, so I'm gonna pull for him. And I think there is something to be said for a rookie head coach learning on the job. I think there is mistakes that he's gonna capitalize on from last year. And I think that Muji has definitely surrounded him with the talent. Especially, and I've talked to you about this before, Ricky, our defensive line is going to be absolutely insane. I got high hopes. Enigbari and Osai were almost 5 sacks guys by themselves. And Will
Yep.
McDonald has 18 and a half sacks the last 2 years. And against Pittsburgh week 1 last year, he had 4. And now you got add David Bailey coming off the edge. And if you look on the track record, the last 20 FBS defensive ends that came out of college who led the FBS in sacks, it's mostly a good record. So I'm very intrigued to see Onyemata, Harrison Phillips, Enigbari, Joseph Asai, Will McDonald. I just think when you look at the defensive line itself, I think that's going to give us so much more flexibility. We're going to find ourselves in a lot more 2nd and 7, 3rd and 8s, 3rd and long type situations. And that's definitely not the situation you want to be in on offense in the National Football League. And you're not going to be able to load the box against us because us as Jets fans got robbed last year. We never got to see AD's breaking game speed alongside Garrett Wilson, let alone Omar Cooper. And the 4.36 speed that Sadiq ran, I just think Frank Wright and these weapons, man, until I see us fail, I'm gonna keep the blind faith, man. I think there's too much good moves in this off. This is one of the best off seasons I've seen in a long time, brother. What do you think?
I would completely agree. And Brian, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, man, like I said, there's just so many little positives, and the fact that the guys themselves are also bought in and they believe so strongly, in Glenn makes me want to believe as well. So yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Until they prove me otherwise, I'm still holding on to that rope. So
Me too.
I'm not letting go of the rope.
Me neither, brother, man. And it's so crazy because it all starts week 1 in Nashville. Like I'm gonna be there against, of all the schedule makers would do this, our former head coach. You couldn't script it any better.
Thank you for saying that, and that gives me the perfect segue.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know about this yet, who maybe did not see it when it happened, recently Jake Asman, he was at the Marty Lyons Golf Charity, and he had Fireman Ed on his show.
Yeah,
Fireman Ed, I guess, had some friends that were there, and Sala was there, and apparently one of Fireman Ed's friends told Sala, "Hey, we'll see you on week 1." And Sala turned around and looks at him and says, "We're going to beat your ass." So I got news for Robert Sala. This ain't the team that you coached.
Bob Sala
that
said
you
he's
were
gonna beat
soft.
our ass? Did
Yes.
that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But so this is Robert Sala. I got news for you. This isn't the Jets team that you coached, that you were soft on, that you turned into quitters. This is an all new Jets team, and it ain't going to be like that. They're not just going to roll over for you, and it is going to take a lot more than a motivational saying of the day and a toothpaste commercial to beat this fucking Jets team.
Love it. Couldn't agree more, man. Yeah. In terms of week 1, man, we're going to get to see. I mean, I know Tavondre Sweat is on the NFI list, but it's a non-football related injury. So I don't know if it's a sickness. Hopefully we'll get some news released by Aaron Glenn tomorrow when he does his presser. Or,
it's a hamstring.
Oh, it's a hammy? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I know Aaron Glenn's presser is tomorrow around 10:15 a.m. So hopefully we'll get some clarity on that. But I'm very intrigued to see, because we traded Jermaine Johnson, who Sala drafted. So is Tavondre Sweat more hungry to get after the passer, or is Jermaine Johnson, who he has me a little concerned, but if Armand Membu can shut down Jermaine Johnson, or sorry, TJ Watt, then Yeah,
he can shut down
should be-
Jermaine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
Olu
completely
Fashion-
agree.
I think Olu Fashanu and Armand Membu are going to make leaps and bounds this year. I wouldn't be surprised if Armand Membu is a Pro Bowler. I really wouldn't.
Oh God, yeah, that's almost a given. I would almost say that Membu is almost a shoo-in to be all pro. I mean, if he just plays as good as he did last year, if he actually progresses and gets even better, then absolutely. And Fashanu, I mean, I know there's been some people that were down on him, and statistically speaking, he wasn't as good as Membu was. But dude, I mean, when you look at the shit quarterbacks we had and how long they held the ball, like, you can't just block guys forever.
Yeah.
Like I think so,
Agreed.
it's tough, man. Like, just it's kind of like the Brandon Stevens thing. If you look at like only the PFF grades where like, oh, he was one of the best in coverage, but he also gave up the most passing touchdowns in the entire league. Stats can be misleading, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah. You can twist them in any way that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, good example. One morning I was in BG's show and I was talking back and forth to somebody, and I don't remember if we were talking about Jordan Travis or what we were talking about. At any rate, we were talking about Florida State.
LSU.
Yes, naturally. Florida State, LSU. And, the fact that Jaden Daniels and Jordan Travis played each other a couple of years in a row. Travis won both times. But we were talking, and the guy goes, oh, well, Brian Thomas lit y'all's ass up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, he did not. And he's like, bro, he had 112 yards or 114 yards and a touchdown. And I'm like, you're a fucking moron, dude. Like, because we were up by 3 scores at the end of the game. So with like 37 seconds left on the clock, and all of our backups out there because we had blown LSU out, they end up throwing like a little flanker screen that he took, 96 yards to the fucking house or something.
He got shut down outside of one chunk play.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So yes, he had, 114 yards and a touchdown. That looks great. But when you consider that, through 59 and a half minutes of that game, he had 2 catches for 12 yards until he added that 92 yarder, when the game was over with already. But it was just so funny because the guy was so cocky. Like, yo, he lit your ass up. And it's like, no, he didn't, dude. Obviously you didn't watch that game. But we shut those guys down big time. And I admit I was a little bit harsh on Neighbors when he came out because of that game, because I'm like, dude, you know what? If Jarian Jones and Renardo Green can completely shut him down to where, he's got 3 catches for 19 yards on the entire game.
Yeah.
What is he going to do against NFL corners?
Right.
And so I was a little bit harsh on him. He's actually a lot better than I gave him credit
Neighbors
for.
is a guy. To your point though, Ricky, on the skew and the statistics, I think Jake had Tanky V on, and he brought up Olu, and it's like nobody's really, his PFF's not great, but like Tanky was like, how many times did you hear anybody complain about Olu Fashanu? And they were saying, if your name's not being brought up a whole lot, you must be doing somewhat of a job. And to your point about Fields holding on to the ball, at this level, you can't hold on to the ball for more than 4 seconds and expect your offensive lineman just to sit there and protect you all day. So I'm very high on Olu Fashanu. And I feel like that he wasn't talked a lot about just getting beat on passing downs. So I think that it's not a stretch to see that we could see breakout seasons from Olu and Membu. I think they're both going to play great.
Absolutely. And I want to address this comment real quick. And I've never seen Justin Fields hold the ball like he did before he became a Jet. I put that on Tanner Engstrom.
Yeah.
I saw him throw dead ducks, but I've never known him to hold the ball. there was nothing game plan wise or schematic wise that called for him to hold the ball the way that he did. I do not put that on Tanner Engstrom. I put that solely on Justin Fields. And
Yeah.
I think that for whatever reason, whether it be fear of turning the ball over, lack of confidence in himself, or fear of getting injured again, when he came back from that injury, he just clearly was not the same and was not right. I've never heard stories about an NFL quarterback saying, "Oh, I was sitting in the back of my closet crying." Like you don't say that. Like, dude, you're supposed to be leading a team. Do you think these guys are going to rally behind you and like, yes, there's our leader. He cried all night in his closet.
Yeah.
Like that ain't a guy that I want to go to war with. Like
tough.
he just was not right. And the Denver game was like the pinnacle of that. And
Negative 13 net.
Yeah, if it was me, I would have pulled his ass out before it even got to be halftime. Granted, they said later if Tyrod had been healthy, they would have pulled him. So there's that.
Yeah.
But dude, like I have never seen a quarterback just like stand back there and get hit over and over and over again. And it's like, I don't know. That's why I led with, it must have been fear of turning the ball over, because it obviously ain't fear of getting hit, because he took hit after hit after hit and refused to run. Like even when we told him, we want to start using some wildcat and stuff and do it. Nope, I don't want to run. And it's like, dude, that was your biggest asset. Like you're probably a better runner than you are a passer, and now you don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
Oh
man. I give Garrett Wilson a lot of props too, man, because he could have complained so hard. And that's why I'm so excited for Gino. Gino, he's not going to care if he turns the ball over. You have to be able to.
No, he'll put it in there.
You have to make the defense respect you. You have to take a couple shots deep every game. It's like Sean Payton says. Even if it's like 4 to 5 times a game, you throw more than a couple 40-yard bombs, they're going to have to respect it. And I just think that Gino's going to bring that capability with this offense, with the weapons that we have. And you just, in the modern day NFL, you cannot sit back in the pocket and hold on to the ball for as long as you do. And it's crazy to me. And Joe Blewett was breaking down the film on Jake Asman's show. Like there's receivers open when Justin Fields was quarterback, and he's holding on to the ball, and at some point you gotta learn to make a split decision. You either get hit or you throw it. I think that's what Gino's gonna provide. Go ahead, brother.
Funny thing that you mentioned that, which I'm gonna go ahead and say, Joe was one of the people that I've been talking to about possibly coming on the show. I had messaged him. I had messaged him like a while ago. Like I want to say this was in like April or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he had messaged me back and was like, yeah, when I get done with all my draft evaluations and stuff, maybe. And I think I had sent him a message going, okay, well, post draft, I got these shows coming up. Let me know if any of those work. And initially I didn't hear back from him. Well, when I went to look at my messages on X, all of a sudden they weren't there. Like his name was nowhere in the list. I couldn't see any of our prior messages, anything. He was just gone. Huh. And I was like, damn, did he block me or something? Like what happened here? Like, and so I just didn't know what happened. And it just wasn't there at all. And it was weird. And then today, probably, 2 hours before the show, I sat down at the computer and I looked and I got a message on X and I clicked on it and it was from him. And he's like, damn, Rickie, just saw this, and from the tone, it was kind of like, I don't know what happened. And I'm thinking, I don't either. Cause like the messages, like I said, they just weren't even there. And then suddenly today they reappeared. Huh. So I don't know. That was just some weird thing with X or whatever. But I am going to try to get with him and see if I can't get him on the show at some point. And
that'd be cool.
obviously the draft is over with now, but I would like to bring him on and at least maybe discuss like what can we expect from this rookie class, realistically.
Right.
And in particular, I wanted to kind of focus on Cooper and Bailey because I think those are going to be our biggest contributors, like from the get go. Now, Pons, I do expect to be a contributor as well, but like right off rip. And but yeah, so I mean, there's a couple of different people I've been talking to about coming on. So hopefully we'll have some really exciting guests coming up here soon. Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself and announce anything. I did that one time before. And I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I promoted this guy coming on the show, blah, blah, blah. And then like the day of the show, all of a sudden, like, can't do it, man. Like something came up and gave me a reason where it sounded like, like a medical, for lack of a better word, emergency. Like, and I'm like, holy shit, if you're in that bad a shape.
Yeah.
And then like the very fucking next morning, I see the dude on someone else's show and I'm like, wow, man, quick recovery there. Like,
yeah.
But dude, listen, it is what it is. I've had, people tell me like, oh, dude, I would love to come on your show. And then after that, ghost me and didn't hear from them again. But it's all good. I've had some great people come on this show. We've had Dylan Terriman on a couple of times. Jake Asman has been on. Nick Shine has been on. Matt O'Leary has been on. Green Bean has been on.
That's my favorite.
The Green Bean shows was an awesome show. That is absolutely one of my favorite shows that I've done. And recently, like I started reaching out to people on X. Thank you to all those who are watching on X.
Shout out X watchers.
Yeah, and started posting some messages like, hey, if you're watching on X, make sure you come over to YouTube and subscribe. And I started picking out a bunch of Jets fans whose posts I see all the time, that I see posting about the Jets all the time, and just tagging them in them. Like, it would be like, I would put up one like, please come and subscribe to our YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I would quote that post and it would just be a bunch of people tagged. And dude, you know what? I added like 14 new subscribers this week just from doing that. So I'm getting some of the X people to come over here, which is awesome.
If you're watching on X, come to YouTube, Rickie New York Live. Subscribing is free. Come on down. You have a good time. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And like I say, man, this is the place where Jets fans come to feel good, to feel better. And that's what I hope, and dude, I love our community that we built. And it just keeps getting bigger and better. And dude, we finally, I think, have a good team that we're going to look forward to watching every single week. And I'm excited for it. And I just want everybody to come and join and celebrate with us.
Let's get fired up.
Oh yeah, I love it, Rickie.
I like Cartoon Me. I like the kind of Toy Story looking version of me. And but yeah, man, thank you to all our new subscribers, everybody that's come over from X. Awesome. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe now to Rickie New York Live, the Jets show that rocks.
Rickie, I really like this comment by NYJ Lunatic here. Can we pull that one up? I'm expecting the Sadiq one. Want to read that one aloud? I like that one, actually.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking for it. Okay, there we go. Yes. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one, brother.
Expecting Sadiq will open up the slot in the middle of the field. We had a decent tight end. Chris Herndon was the last time. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that, dude. Sadiq, I think he's going to do a lot to kind of open it up, but at the same time, Sadiq is a rookie, and
Mm-hmm.
tight ends usually take a little bit to get going. So I don't know that he's going to be a huge impact right from day one, but as the year progresses, I think that he's going to be a big bonus for us. Um, Towards the beginning of the year, I think it's going to be more like they have certain plays or certain packages for him
Yeah.
to get him on the field. But as the year goes on, and let me tell you what, Frank Reich like pounded the table for Sadiq. That was his guy that he wanted. So because of that, I have to believe that he's got a plan for him. Like I think he's got a vision for how he wants to use him. So
I like his yak ability.
I do too. And he's a better blocker than people give him credit for.
He's so strong. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about all of our rookies, honestly.
Especially the first four.
Yeah, especially the first four. But then you get to number 5, Florida State, baby. Fuck it, So and dude, Daryl Jackson is just a mammoth human being too.
I feel like nobody's really talking about him.
I think it's because everybody kind of expects him to be, for lack of a better word, like a kind of a redshirt year, and look at him more as like a developmental type prospect. And the defensive line is so deep that I can kind of see why, there is no need to rush him along or anything. But you know what? One of those guys gets hurt, banged up a little bit. Harrison Phillips, Juwan Briggs, whatever. All of a sudden, you got that guy that you can plug in there.
Yeah, I heard he had a lot of double teams in college too, and I like Inez Cooper. He's got center guard flexibility, kind of like Parham and Joe Tippmann. I'm not really necessarily as concerned on the interior of the offensive line as like a lot of other creators and just the general media but I think Inez is going to be, he might be a developmental guy, but I love his size. Who's that called into Boy Green's show this morning? And he was talking about the average weight of our offensive line is like 310 pounds.
Oh, was that James, I think, that called in and was talking about that?
James, he's the average. That's a lot of meat, man. That is a lot of
it is.
I think we got to get back to the Jets throughout the first 5 weeks last year were top 7 in rushing attacks. Whenever Braylon was healthy and Brees and Isaiah Davis, I'm very high on Isaiah Davis. Even if it's like 3 to 4 snaps a game, I want to see him on the field at some capacity, because if we can just ground and pound with this kind of offensive line, it's given me a lot of like 2008 to 2010 Jets offensive line vibes when we had D Brick and we had Mangold. Like, I think if we just become a run team first, it's going to open up the pass. And I want to see us utilize, and I know Frank Reich is kind of a play action guy. I just think we got the talent to do it, man. If we can start off in any capacity the way we did last year in terms of just rushing the football with Braylon Allen, Isaiah, and Brees, just smash your mouth. What was that one drive against? Oh man, I forget who we played. We just ran it straight down their throats the whole first drive of the game, and then like we just kind of went away from it. I can't remember who we played. Scored like an opening drive touchdown. That's gonna bug me. But I think just become like a run first team, and it's gonna open up everything else in the pass. And I got a lot of faith in Frank Reich. He's had a couple bad stints, as a head coach, but 6 of his 8 years as an offensive play caller, he's led a top 10 to 12 offense in terms of yards. And I'm very excited just to see what A.D. Mitchell and Garrett Wilson can do on the field together.
Yep.
And especially Mason Taylor. Hopefully he can stay healthy, because he led the team in receptions in yards once Garrett Wilson went down.
Yeah, and we were missing both of those guys by the end of the year. And just going back to what you were saying about our offensive line, like, yeah, James was bringing that up this morning. You figure, on average, our offensive linemen are about 310 pounds each. That's what the average came out to be. Dude, 5 guys at 310, you're talking about 1,550 pounds that you got to move out of the way. That's quite a bit.
That's insane.
And speaking of moving a bunch of weight, going back to Daryl Jackson, what you said about him taking on a lot of double teams.
Yeah.
Dude, Florida State was very similar to the Jets in the fact that, dude, they couldn't stop other teams running.
The run.
Dude, so it's the fourth quarter of games and teams are just running it down our throats. And so people didn't really get to see what he can offer as a pass rusher when the opportunity presents itself because the opportunities were so small. But when they did present themselves, he can add some, pass rush ability. But against the run, yeah, man, like he was like a brick wall, man. He commanded double teams. He was awesome against the run. And, hopefully we'll be in more close games where we can see some of that pass rush potential, and not just have teams running the ball in the fourth quarter on us. I think those days are over with.
Or have the ball with a lead late in the fourth quarter where we can afford to run the football, and drain some clock.
Yes.
That's what we've really been missing from this Jets offense in the last couple of years.
The other thing,
lead. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, the other thing about Frank Reich is yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I was reading a comment and
no, you're okay.
At any rate, yeah, now I kind of sidetracked myself and I forgot what I was saying. Dude, you know what? I wonder if we took that same philosophy that we did with the offensive line, what their average weight is. I wonder what the average weight of our defensive line is.
I Googled what is the average weight of it in the NFL O-line coming into this year, and it says 314 to 315. So a full 5-man unit is 1,570 to 1,575 pounds.
So we're right there. We're right there in that range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. I love that James mentioned that. That was a really good point.
I wonder what like I said, I wonder what the average weight of our defensive line is. Sweat has got to skew those numbers upwards quite a bit just by himself, I would think.
What is the average weight of the Jets defensive line?
Isn't that awesome that you could just Google whatever the hell you want and come up with an answer?
Says between Briggs, Onyemata, Phillips, Inigbari, Barron, and Bailey, 290 to 300. So that's not even including Sweat.
Yeah, I was about to say he probably skews those numbers up quite a bit just by himself. Because that is a big boy. And as far as the Sweat injury goes, I know they said it was a hammy, and they've said from the beginning that, they don't consider it to be serious or, anything that's going to be a long-term concern. So I really think that it's just precautionary, which is smart. Like, dude, that's a big boy. That's a lot of weight to have to carry. So,
I did a deeper dive here, Ricky. The average weight of the core interior Jets defensive line entering next year, 323 pounds. Tavondre Sweat, 366. Mazzie Smith, 337. Daryl Jackson, 315. Juwan Briggs, 313. Harrison Phillips, 307. Onyemata, 300. All that rotational front's going to be 300 plus.
Dude, our smallest guy is 300 pounds.
It's going to be so filthy. I see this clip of Tavondre Sweat chasing down Patrick Mahomes as he was scrambling and still tackled him behind the line of scrimmage. So, Tavondre
hey, you know
Sweat,
what?
Ooh,
I would take that all day long. I don't think, in all fairness, physically talented as he is, I don't think that Sadiq is really the receiver that Bowers is. But
I like to say,
I do like the thinking there though. Uh,
me too.
and I think
Brock
those guys
Bowers
will
is
complement each other really well. Dude, he is really good. And
He's insane.
watching watching some of the Geno highlights from last year, it's like for all the people that were high on Brock Bowers, somebody had to throw him all those balls. And
Mm-hmm.
dude, once he was out, man, the Raiders really had nothing. Like it was bad. And
Yeah. I think Connor Long was on Jake's show, talking about Geno Smith and his whenever he was being pressured, he still almost had like a 67% completion percentage. I could be wrong on the number, but I think it's pretty close. And we got a way better offensive line and weapons than what Geno had with the Raiders.
oh my goodness, yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of bullish on Geno. Now, if he gets hurt, I don't know if I trust Bailey Zappi. I'm hoping we can still maybe go snag a Cooper Rush or just somebody else. But Geno Smith has not necessarily missed a lot of football. So with our offensive line, I got faith he can stay healthy. But I just think with the situation he's in right now is 10 times better than what he had with Oakland or Vegas.
Yeah, and again, there's going to be some guys that end up shaking loose, you know, whether it's Sam Howell in Dallas or Will Levis in Tennessee or, you know, uh, any number of guys. Like I think there will be somebody out there we can get if need be. So I'm not really all that worried about that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year, man. Like there's so many different things as far as the offense, and I think we're going to see an actual screen game, you know, and Brees getting the ball out of the backfield, which we haven't seen.
A coordinator who's not first time being a coordinator, like nothing against Mike LaFleur and Tanner Engstrand, but this is not a first time play caller that we got in Frank Reich. This is somebody with actual NFL experience. And Bill Musgrave. So this is a guy that is going to be able to scheme guys open. And I think we got the weapons to do it. So I'm right there with you, Rickie. I love it.
Absolutely. And Seth Ryan, you know, cooking up some trick plays for us. And dude, you know the play that I sent you, the reverse flea flicker.
Yeah. That was sick.
I wrote a letter to Seth Ryan
I remember
suggesting they use that play specifically against Robert Saleh, but if not Saleh, the Patriots, any overly aggressive style defense that likes to swarm the ball like that. And that letter went out today. The mailman picked it up today, so it is on its way.
Let's go, Rickie.
Also, I got one of my AG T-shirts that we sell. The front just has the big kind of graffiti style AG on it, and then the back says "All hitters, no quitters." I made one of those, and instead of having the Rickie New York logo on the back, I put a Jets logo across the top of the back with the "All hitters, no quitters," and I sent that to Aaron Glenn, and it got delivered on. What was that, Tuesday? So Aaron Glenn has one of my all hitters, no quitters t-shirts now.
Nice.
I was thinking like, damn, you know what? He's probably not going to wear it if it's got my show logo on it. But since I replaced the show logo with the Jets logo,
there you
which no, I do not sell those. I don't sell anything with a Jets logo on it for obvious reasons. But I figure, hell, maybe he'll wear it now. So he's got one. Dude, that would be a real kick to fucking see him wearing that shirt.
That'd be the best.
That would be fire. So, hey, who knows? You know, you never know. But, and dude, chances are that, you know, some mail sorting person is going to get my letter and it's going to get shuffled off to the side. But you never know, you know.
Right.
I try to do my part, and you know, I usually send one of my big postcards or a letter or something at draft time for put my suggestions in, which largely I think go unignored. They might get a laugh out of it, if nothing else. But
Heck yeah.
dude, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it. Next year they can expect to get another big ass postcard from me suggesting we take a safety high again, because I did it last year with Dylan Thieneman. Dude, I would have taken Dylan Thieneman, AJ Halsey. I mean, there was several
Oregon.
safeties I would have
Yeah,
taken.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have settled for a Kamari Ramsey later, had we not taken, Klubnik in that spot.
Where'd
But
Tianman go? Was Sadiq still?
Thieneman went to Chicago.
What they took?
AJ Halsey
That
and
would've been
CJ Allen both went to Indy. And I can't remember who drafted Ramsey. And naturally, Caleb Downs went to Dallas. So, yeah, I can tell you for the most part where most of the bigger name safeties from this draft went.
Tianman went 25th.
Yeah, to
To
Chicago.
the Bears. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, dude, I was screaming when he was still there at 16 and we were picking. I was screaming at the fucking TV, man. Like I wanted him so bad, but that's just me. I think forever I wanted a safety every year, whether it was Earl Thomas when he was coming out of Texas, whether it was Harrison Smith. Seemed like every year I wanted a safety, and then all of a sudden we got to the year that Jamal Adams came out. And at that
17
point,
or 18.
Yeah, at that point, Derwin James was at Florida State making all kinds of noise, and I was
Derwin was a dog.
I was like, oh, you know what? For once, I don't want to take a safety. I want to wait until next year so we can get him. And what do? We draft 2 safeties, making it no shot at getting him at all. But dude, I watched this guy, and I wish I could remember his name, but every single safety that I just named trained with this guy. Earl Thomas, Harrison Smith, Sanders, fucking just anyone you can think of. They all trained with him. Jamal Adams, Marcus May, Derwin James, they all trained with this guy. And the guy was like, I got to be honest with you. The way he'll come down and hit, his coverage ability, just as an all-around safety, he was like, Derwin has got to be the best guy that I've trained since Sean Taylor, hands down.
Derwin's.
I was like, dude, when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, okay, because dude, yes, I'm a Jets fan, but I'm a NFL fan. Period. Before I had a team, I was just a fan of the NFL in general. I like guys from all different teams. Dude, I was a huge Sean Taylor fan. I drafted him as a rookie in fantasy.
Yeah.
And every single year of his life, he was on my fantasy team. Every single year. Every year until he passed. That guy, dude, we would be talking about him like Ed Reed or whoever had he lived. If he had lived, I think he would have become the best safety we had ever watched.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember Jim Leonard's name was getting floated around in the defensive coordinator searches, and I was like, man, I kind of want him to come here, but if the season went down south, I didn't want him to get scapegoated or fired. So, I mean,
I wanted him to come here too, but like as soon as he went to a division rival, I was like, oh. You're dead to me. Don't want to hear
it. No doubt.
You know what's funny is, talking about coaches that we want, whatever. There was a guy, and I'm not going to call out people from the chat or anything like that, so I'm not going to use the guy's name. But super negative, always this particular caller, and he doesn't call into my show. But he called in and was arguing with BG and saying, Frank Reich is old and he sucks, and it's just going to be like, the gloom and doom fans that just can always find something wrong. And he's like, we should have taken Tanner McKee because that would have solved all of our problems. And his rationale was for no other reason than Tanner McGee came from Philly. That's a winning program that knows what they're doing. And just by osmosis, him being in their building sucked up some kind of, ability to be successful no matter what, which is ludicrous to begin with. But he's talking about that. And I'm like, Philly tried to hire Frank Reich. He told them no. He picked us over
come
him.
here. Yeah.
So this great
I think that says a lot
organization
about AG.
that can do no wrong, this kid will automatically succeed just because he was in their building, wanted to hire ROC, the guy that you say sucks. If that organization is so great, why did they want to hire our guy? Which he was there in Philly during the Nick Foles Super Bowl run, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, dude, like it cracks me up. And on a different show the other day, somebody was saying that, dude, if Sean Payton was the Jets coach, we would have been in the playoffs already because Sean Payton's a genius. And immediately I was like, well, obviously Sean Payton's a genius. He hired Aaron Glenn, and look how long Glenn was on his staff. And like
his team went away from the Super Bowl.
The person was just like all of a sudden didn't know what to say to that. And I'm like, you know what? You can't say that Glenn sucks and he'll never be any good at anything, and then turn around and say Sean Payton's a genius. Sean Payton had Aaron Glenn on his staff for how many years? Like,
Sean Payton's probably a first ballot.
You think?
I think so. If Bo Nix is healthy, I don't think the Patriots win. And with that Denver defense, I don't know how. I still got Seattle winning, but I don't think it's a blowout like it was against the Pats. But I think Sean Payton is definitely one of the best coaches in the National Football League. I don't like him, like I hate playing him, but I respect him. Yeah,
I like Sean Payton. I don't know about first ballot, but I could definitely see him getting in. I could definitely see him getting in.
Yeah, because if he wouldn't have had Drew Brees type stuff, like we might not know what would have happened. But yeah, first ballot might be a stretch. Even Bill Belichick wasn't first ballot.
Jets Johnny, what's up, brother?
Always good to see Johnny, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, I'm a lot more. I'm a lot more bullish on AG, and like, dude, as long as he's a head coach, man, I don't like just crapping on a guy, like especially when you know he's going to be here. If you're a Jets fan and you're rooting for AG to fail, then I don't know what you're doing being a Jets fan. And I think Muji is just like I said earlier. Muji has his team like with a lot better roster. We have Mika Fitzpatrick, who's going to be able to coach our secondary up. And we have Demario Davis, which I think is going to be the best thing to happen to Jamie and Sherwood since CJ Mosley. Like, we got our two quarterbacks on the defense in the middle and in the secondary right there. And I'm very excited that AG is going to be calling plays. And I think he's going to do a very good job at it with the pieces that we have on this defensive line. We're going to get after some quarterbacks this year, man. And I think this is one of the most optimistic I've ever came into being a Jets fan, like in quite some time. And I'm usually a pretty optimistic guy, I think, as you well know.
Yeah, I am too. Like, this is probably, and you know what? I don't even want to say optimistic, because when we got Aaron Rodgers, I was hopeful, but I wasn't convinced. And like this time, I feel more convinced. Like I think it's more confidence than it is hope. So
I love the veteran leadership that we have that we just didn't have on the team last year. And I love that whenever we see a player go to the podium, they're speaking glowingly about Aaron Glenn. I love that so much.
Yeah, I do too.
Sorry, go ahead, Ricky.
Every player says it. Every player they talk to. I believe in Coach Glenn. I believe in what he's doing. And I like playing for a coach that sees the game the same way I do. I love that quote. And I think that carries a lot more weight than what people are giving it credit for.
It's
Having a coach that played that sees the game the same way as the guys he's coaching, that's
Yeah,
gonna pay big dividends.
I think one of the last times, like 2 or 3 times ago when I called into your show, I was like, if the players are bought into Aaron Glenn, why shouldn't I be? I mean, with the team 0-0 right now, like no, I think a lot of even the most pessimistic Jets fans are going to be pretty excited with the way that the Jets come out the gate here. There's a lot of parity in the NFL. You gotta win close games, and that's the only thing that he fell short of last year. It's like I said, 6 of the first 8 games we lost by 1 possession. A couple of those go a different way. Everybody thinks of AG in a different light. He
Oh
knows he's
yeah,
an improve it year, and I got faith that he will. I think that there is a realistic scenario to where, when you look at our schedule, we could potentially be staring down a 4-4 record. And if you're 4-4, hovering around 500, that gives you a chance to be playing meaningful games in November and December. And I think with the roster that we have around us right now, I think that's a very feasible and realistic possibility.
yeah, I do
I
too.
really do.
I do too. Absolutely, man. I think that if we can stay, keep it close in games, which we should be able to. Dude, I like Geno for a number of reasons. He probably has the most, tight window throws of any quarterback in the NFL, but he's accurate and he's not afraid to put it in there. And he's got that gunslinger mentality. And last year in Oakland, when everything was going wrong, they couldn't score points, they were getting blown out in a lot of games, that mentality probably got him in a lot of trouble because he was still putting it down the field and he threw some picks. But at least he was throwing the ball and trying to compete and trying to come back and keep them in games. Our quarterbacks wouldn't even do that. They just sit back there and hold the ball and get demolished. And it was an embarrassment. But dude, yeah, Geno's going to put the ball down the field. Frank Reich likes to push the ball down the field.
Yeah, he does.
Geno likes to push the ball down the field, and A.D. Mitchell's skill set fits exactly what both of those two guys like to do and are good at. So, again, man, just so much to look forward to this year. And right now, I mean, I know it's all potential. We don't really know anything until we see it, but if I had to judge by the moves we've made and where we're at right now, on paper, anyways, it looks really good. We're gonna find out real quick. Now I've heard people say like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna know within those first 3 or 4 games." I don't think that's necessarily fair because that first 4 game, with the exception of Tennessee, who is better than people think, that's not going to be the give me game that everybody thinks. I think that's going to be a really close game and a good game.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a tough, so I'm going to say like the first 6 or 7 games, we're going to really know because
for sure,
I can't say, like, okay, Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, 3 weeks in a row, probably 3 of the tougher games on our entire schedule. And I'm going to judge the whole year based on that. Like, that's not fair.
No.
So I want to throw in a Miami and a Cleveland and a Las Vegas after that to kind of balance the scales a little bit,
Yeah.
Let's give us an even slate of good and bad teams to make our assessment with, not
beat
just
teams that we should beat.
Exactly.
And it starts in Tennessee.
And granted, the Jets usually end up losing to some team that they should have beat, but we also usually end up beating some team that we have no business beating, or you would think.
Beat the teams we should beat. And the Green Bay Packers never won a single game last year when Micah Parsons got hurt. And I read a report today that he's probably not starting till week 6, and we play week 2. I see a very realistic scenario that the Jets can start 2-0. Beat the Titans and beat the Packers. Jets start 2-0.
Dude, listen, what you just said about Micah Parsons, very true. They don't have Romeo Dobbs anymore, who was like their biggest
Or
chain mover.
Bari,
That's going to be a big loss. There's no Bari.
Quay
They
Walker.
lost Quay Walker. They lost Rashawn Gary, who was a really good defensive lineman himself.
Dallas.
Like, you got the Josh Jacobs situation, which who knows what happens with that. Like, dude, there's a lot of things there, and they didn't bring in anybody. They didn't have an amazing draft. They really did not very much in free agency. When I looked at all their losses and then looked at what they added, I was like, ooh, wow. That's
LaFleur is a good coach, but I think week 2 without Micah is a very gettable game. Because I think 7 to 9 years LaFleur's led the Packers to the playoffs. I could see a shootout week 2 Jets against Packers, which will be debuting our new NFL uniforms, the white helmets. I really love those a lot. I think the Jets are 2-7 in their last 9 home openers, but I do think that we start the season 2-0, and I'll gladly eat crow if I'm wrong, but I really think that we will win the first 2 games. And
you know what's funny is I'm obviously an out of market fan living here in Florida, so I've only gotten to see a handful of games at MetLife. I've probably seen more games at the Meadowlands than I have MetLife, but dude, 2012 opening day, home opener against Buffalo. I was there and we kicked their ass. And
hell yeah.
So that was the only home opener that I've been to in person, and we won it. Dude, I was like seated down at like one end, kind of, and towards the end zone. And there was like a Jeremy Curley return for a touchdown and a touchdown catch that he made in that game. Both of them like basically right in front of me practically.
That's awesome.
So that was cool. And actually you can't see it because it's hanging on the I got like this little window in my front door, and it's like hanging over the inside of it so people can't see in from the outside. But they gave away these little hand towels, and they were like Curtis Martin, commemorative towels that they gave out to everybody that day because they retired Curtis's number that day. That was, I don't want to call it my farewell tour because that's a really fucked up thing to say, because I went on this trip kind of around the country. I went and saw Curtis get inducted into the Hall of Fame. I went to opening day and watched his number get retired. And yes, I was scratching some things off my bucket list, for lack of a better word. But at the same time, I was in such a bad state that a lot of people didn't think I would come back from that trip. And so other people called it my farewell tour. I never called it that. But even now, people still refer to it as that. And I'm like, dude, would you please stop saying that? Obviously, it wasn't my farewell tour because I'm still fucking here.
All right.
It's 14 years later now. Like, stop calling it that. Anyways.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never been to MetLife. Hoping to get up there this year. But I will be there week 1 in Nashville. Going to watch D'Angelo Pons pick off Cam Ward to get our first interception in 8.
I know everybody hates MetLife. I guess like the times that I was there were all somewhat, close to after it opened. So it was like still kind of new then. And I guess it was still kind of exciting. Obviously that stadium hasn't aged well and the fans aren't crazy about it. But I don't know. I didn't think it was all that bad when I was there, but I haven't been there in a few years now either. So,
yeah.
But dude, I've seen some cool stadiums. Like I helped put the roof on the Hard Rock on to Dolphin Stadium.
Nice.
When they
Cool.
did it. But like, dude, the stadium in Atlanta, oh my God, that fucking crazy retractable roof that they got and shit.
Yeah,
That
that's a
stadium,
beautiful stadium.
that's I gotta say that is probably by far the nicest NFL stadiums I've been in.
The Georgia Dome. Yeah, that place is cool.
Yeah, like and I know people. Oh, but you live in Tampa. They got that cool stadium. No, they don't. They've got like the most generic stadium ever with just a pirate ship plopped at one end of it.
Yeah,
That's it. Like, and maybe it's also because anytime I go to the stadium here in Tampa, it always seems like it's a million friggin' degrees out there, and it's always miserable. So
yeah,
there's that. Either that, or you get rained on all day, or both. Sometimes you get both.
yeah.
And that's awful. Like people go, oh, well, at least when it rains, it cools things off. No, it really doesn't.
It
And
brings the humidity.
Dude, the worst thing is if you're in Florida and you got a car with no air conditioning and it pours rain.
Man.
Dude, it's still 90 something degrees out. If you roll your windows up, you're dying inside. But you can't leave them rolled up anyway because of the humidity. The windows just all fog up and you can't see. Like it's brutal. Dude.
Yeah.
Like the heat here, and we're in that time of year. It's it's 100 degrees outside every single day, and then from like 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock every evening, it just pours rain.
Football's back. Rickie, you pull up this nicely Luker comment about Cade Klubnik maybe being the QB2. I'm going to use the restroom, but I'll be listening.
Yes, I will. Right, here we go.
Go through that, and I'll be right back.
Yes, I do believe he will be. I think that they want to get an extended look at Klubnik, so I expect him to play a ton in this preseason. I think that we're going to see Geno very little. There will be one game where we see him a quarter, maybe a series into the second quarter or something. But I think Klubnik is going to get a ton of run this preseason, and they're going to want to get as good a look at him as they can to evaluate things. Also, I think that's going to help them with the decision on whether they bring in a vet or not. If he can go out there and look really good and they've got confidence in him, then maybe we don't. And that gives us more roster flexibility. If he goes out there and struggles, then that makes the need more pressing, and we probably bring in somebody. Will D'Angelo Pons win starting reps? I think he will. If he does, I think it's going to be in the nickel to begin with. I do think over time they're going to work him some on the outside as well. But if he does win the starting job, I think it's going to be in the nickel. But I do actually think that he wins that job. Every player that they've talked to, that they've asked about him, the first thing out of their mouth is he's so smart. He's so intelligent. His football IQ is so high. And I just think he's a really savvy, really intelligent player with just a great feel for the game. He's fiery. He's aggressive. He might be undersized, but he doesn't play like it. So, and I think that Geno will play better. And honestly, even last year, like the way that this is worded, will Geno play better than last year from the jump? Well, last year from the jump, he wasn't actually playing all that bad. But after Bowers got hurt and he really had nothing else, that's when it started to get really bad. And as far as Glenn being the play caller, I like that. And you know what? I like the fact that Glenn from the beginning has kind of put everything on himself. And yeah, he was loud and he rubbed some people the wrong way. But at the end of the day, he's taking bullets for his guys. And I think he's kind of the mindset like, things didn't go well. Okay, if you're gonna hate things and you're gonna hate somebody, hate me. If you're gonna blame somebody, blame me. And he,
Accountability.
yeah, and he really put it all on himself. And
Hmm.
you kind of want that from your coach. And granted, things did not go well last year at all. Um, some of those things, were in his control. Some of them were not. Uh, Garrett, was our leading receiver for over half the season. After he was gone, uh, that says a lot. Um, a lot about our bad quarterback situation. Uh, but then Mason Taylor was next behind him. Mason Taylor was out at the end of the year, so our top two receivers out. By the end of the year, two of our three top corners were out. Will McDonald was
Yeah,
banged up. Brees was banged up. Braylon Allen was out. I mean, like,
we were depleted.
yeah, we really were. And so I know that we gave up a historic amount of points and all that, but look how many guys we had hurt, and we couldn't score points to save our life. Half the guys that were healthy had quit. So I mean, there were things that weren't in his control, and all that shit. Like, dude, the show that I did that was called "Replacing Hitters with Quitters" or "Quitters with Hitters" uh, is my most viewed show that I've ever done, and I think it was just the title. Like, really. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything different that night. I didn't have like a crazy guest or anything. It was just, a normal show. But for whatever reason, it's got double the views of any other show that I did.
Yeah.
But dude, just that phrase, we had some quitters, the Williams brothers, you know, other guys, Sauce puffing his chest out, oh, I didn't give up a touchdown. No, dude, but you gave up a third and forever to Keyshawn Booty at a critical point in the game. Like,
Yeah.
uh, that's one thing that always rubbed me wrong about Sauce is like anytime they ever talked to him, he'd be like, "Well, I personally didn't do anything," and it's like, dude, you're throwing your teammates under the bus without coming right out and saying it, and also that I can do no wrong attitude. Like, you're good. There's no two ways about it. He was really good, but he wasn't perfect. He wasn't
Yeah.
Darrell Revis. So, uh, I don't know, man. I just, the Tony Adams always in the wrong spot, running into his own guy. Oh, God, I won't miss that shit.
Yeah.
The dumbass Michael Clements penalties. Like, we're not going to have to deal with any of that shit anymore. So
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
yeah, I'm glad. And every guy that you talk to, they want to be here, and that's the difference. And
Hmm.
then you factor in our young guys, our draft class. They haven't been beaten down by a bunch of losing here. Fuck, they haven't even played a game here yet. And you listen to Pons and Cooper, and they're like, dude, like nobody thought anything of Indiana when we got there, and we turned that shit around and won a title. We're ready to do the same thing here. And dude, they're all like still full of hope, and they believe, and they
Young
think
enough.
anything is possible. And I like that. I like that that's the mindset of our guys. And whether it be trades, free agents, rookies, whatever, they all seem to have that attitude and that buy-in. So, uh,
The team seems hungry, and it feels like there's a different energy around the building. Shout out Sharon. Rain every day in Tampa.
right on. Yep. Well, I live here, grew up here. My oldest brother moved to Tallahassee, God, when I was still just a kid. And so my oldest brother lives there. My two half brother, well, one of them still lives there. The other one moved to Orlando. But yeah, I got a bunch of family in Tallahassee. That's where my parents retired and lived at the end of their lives. And so, but yeah, between Tampa and Tallahassee, pretty much all of my family, or what's left of my family, is divided between those two towns.
That's awesome. To Nicely's comment earlier about if we're gonna see Cade Klubnik a lot this preseason, I'll tell you, I'd much rather see. I want to see Cade Klubnik get a lot more snaps than Bailey Zappi. Like, he's technically like our veteran backup coming into the season, but I know a lot of these teams in the preseason they're gonna be running a lot of generic like high school type defenses and stuff. But I'm gonna be looking at stuff. Is he throwing guys open? Is he protected? It's usually the starters on the offensive line get a lot of go in the preseason games. And to your point, when you were talking about Geno and how much playing time he's going to be getting in the preseason, I'm guessing it's going to be the last preseason game, our third one.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a drive, because you don't want to risk health. But it's kind of like what we did with Aaron Rodgers against the Giants. Just give Geno one drive. Because man, I tell you what, when Aaron Rodgers came back off the torn ACL and he scored that touchdown against the Giants, I was like, okay, first drive down. I know it's Jets Giants, like vanilla defenses or not, they weren't trying to let us go down the field and score on them.
No, absolutely not.
Preseason game or not. And to the point about Pons, that Nicely said, what was it? Will Pons win starting reps? I really think so. I don't know if he's going to be in the nickel or on the outside, but I wouldn't be surprised to see D'Angelo Pons earn a spot on the outside at some point during the season. I don't know when it'll be. But before Brownlee got banged up, I thought he was a really great nickel for us. We traded to Tennessee, a 6 or a 7? Can't remember.
Yep.
I think it was like a 7. In terms of the overall cornerback depth, and to Nicey's point though, I think Pons is going to be a really good player for us. He gives me Darrelle Revis vibes like a lot. I watch a lot of Big Ten football, and all he did for Indiana prior to winning a national championship was make big plays against a lot of really talented Big Ten receivers. So I got very high hopes for Pons. So in terms of the training camp, and we took him 50th overall, I think there's a lot of value for where we got Pons at 50. So definitely would not be surprised if he earns himself starting reps very early. And I mean, when you take a rookie 50th overall in the second round, you definitely want to see him join the field in some capacity, even if it's not in the starting role. But I think he will earn those starting reps.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, dude, if he was 6'1", he's a top 15 pick. That's all there is to it.
Probably top 10.
That good, yeah. I think he ends up winning the starting nickel job, and then later in the year, I could see him, getting some work on the outside. Whether he becomes a full-time starter outside or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I kind of see it being like Stevens and AZ Thomas, and then Pons in the slot to start off the year. And I mean, and who knows, man, it could end up being Thomas and Brownlee and Pons later on. Luffy, what's happening, man?
Luffy.
Show me that pond. Show me that pond.
What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Oh, good.
Good, man.
Oh, good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Derek. Definitely nice to see you. You're a good guy. Rickie, how you doing, Rickie?
I'm doing okay.
I need a little positivity. All right.
Let's go.
I know this is the show to come to when you want jet positivity. Rickie's full of jet positivity. So, Rickie, you tell me how Aaron Glenn is going to turn it around this year. Go.
No problem. Okay.
Oh, there's no problem. That's the answer? No, okay.
Let's go.
Okay. We're going to come out in week 1, and we're going to be prepared. And we know that Saleh will have his guys fired up, but Saleh was rarely prepared on week 1. And week 1 is usually kind of a shit show across the whole league. Week 1 and 2, for that matter, have been pretty sloppy the last couple of years. And I think that has to do with, limited amount of practices and stuff leading up to it. There aren't any 3 a days anymore. But I think he's going to have this team ready. Everybody that's here is bought in. I think the new blood in the building and getting rid of that old loser mentality that a lot of those players had is going to be huge. I think the change in scheme on defense is going to benefit us greatly. I think that him calling the plays is going to benefit us because, dude, that Wilkes defense was so bad.
Can I interject on that?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Week 1, we were prepared last year. We just didn't finish. And I think that was on the head coach. I think week 1 we'll be prepared, but we need to finish. So I
yes,
want to know what Aaron Glenn's going to do to change that mantra. That's what I want. I want to see something change in him, and I don't want to hear bullshit like he always talks about. I want to see factual things that he's doing, and we haven't seen it yet. Maybe at preseason we will. Maybe we'll see a little change in him, but I do not understand how a head coach who basically we can say he failed last year or underperformed. You showed me that pond. Uh, Underperformed last year can be better by giving him another job. That
Can I
is my problem.
can I start this one?
Absolutely,
Uh,
Derek. I love you.
I
go
think
ahead.
I definitely have my doubts on AG.
Mhm.
He's our head coach, so I'm going to pull for him. I just think with Muji, with what he's done with just this roster and the veteran
Mhm.
leadership that got added, I think that's going to give a big boost into AG, and just I feel a lot more comfortable in terms of just the roster and where it's at. And just I think this defensive rotational front's going to be absolutely insane. I think
I
he's
think
got
Derek. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt,
no
but
no
you
go
hit the
ahead
nail on the head with the one word: leadership.
leadership.
Lacking leadership last year, lacking leadership in everywhere, and that we got leaders now. I don't know who the leader on the offense is. I know you can't say Garrett Wilson because whenever a wide receiver is a leader, they call him a diva. But on the defense, there's definitely Demario Davis, and
Minka.
I do not want to see another Mosley where he gets hurt and it just deflates the whole defense. I think the fact that we have what's his name, the guy.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
No, the other
Tony
linebacker that
Amata.
was
Oh,
no.
Ejibari.
Yes, Ricky, that he was the leader last year, and then he's going to follow it, and he's going to follow everything that they do. But he could step up. I think you have like the alternate if the Davis does go down. So I do like that the defense has leadership. Glenn is going to be on defense. I am looking forward to the defense being jet defense. This is something we was always known for. I
Yeah,
am looking forward to that.
yes.
I'll be disappointed if it doesn't happen.
yeah.
And I think Frank Wright will do okay on the offense. I just want it to be cohesive as a unit and make the right decisions at the right time. And that's where I'm worried about Glenn. That's really what I'm talking about. I think we have improved as a team. The roster as Muji gave everything Glenn needs to do to succeed, and we'll see.
True. Yeah,
Right.
I love the addition of Demario. He's one of our biggest problems last year was stopping the run. Harrison
hmm
Phillips was top 7 PFF in stopping the run, and Onyemata's 30 years old, but he was also top 7 against stopping the run. And Demario Davis has always been top 10 PFF against stopping the run.
hmm
And I think Demario Davis is going to be like our CJ Mosley, except I think he's going to be able to cover a little bit better. I know he's 36, but he's only
Yeah,
missed.
both of them are going to cover the same way. I'm sorry,
I
they're both in. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I think our ability, in terms of a roster standpoint, our ability to stop the run with adding Demario Davis into this fluctuation of talent that we now have in Enigbari and Osai and everybody else. I think Demario is going to put Jamie and Sherwood in a lot more positions to succeed.
Sherwood.
And I
Yeah.
think that our
Sherwood's
ability,
going to cover a lot. He's going to be the cover guy. They're going to
yeah,
change it up a lot. Davis is going to call the plays. Like I said, I'm just a little worried about if something happens. I think Sherwood can step up, but
I think Davis is going to be the straw that stirs the drink into this Aaron Glenn defense, and I think our incapabilities of being able to stop the run last year, I think we're definitely gonna surprise some people with our ability to stop the run
if
this
we
year.
don't stop the run with this fucking team, Glenn's got to go. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
listen, we
He's
will.
they beefed
I'm
it up.
not.
I think
That's
it's
one
fair.
thing
I
I'm
think
not
that's
worried
fair.
about in the least bit. Shout out NC Green. Earlier today, you told me it's hard to make these 8 p.m. shows, but here it is 10 something at night, and you're with us, brother. So thank you for joining.
Thanks so much, NC.
Dude, listen, man. Harrison Phillips, Tavondre Sweat, David Amanyana, all top 10 versus the run. And we got all three of them.
That's Muji. Muji made those moves. He said, "We suck at this. We're gonna fucking take care of it. You better do something about it, Glenn." Now, so he's putting him on the goal. I mean, my only take on Muji is the backup quarterback mistake that Douglas made last year,
Kicker.
or a couple of years ago, where you had nobody as a backup, and we're still skeleton in that area. I mean, Zappy. I mean, really. And then you got, hopefully Klubnik can be Klubnik that we think he can be, of 2 years ago. But, I hope you don't make the same mistake. Hope there is no mistake made, because I hope Gino goes through the whole season. And then Muji can build off that.
But as far as going back to your original question with Glenn, I know that calling plays puts a little bit more on his plate, but
it's a superpower.
You can trust to run the offense will alleviate a little bit of pressure. But then, like you said, Derek, with the leadership, you've got Amanyata on the defensive line. You've got Davis, being the captain of the defense, calling the plays, getting guys lined up.
Yeah.
And
who was the leaders last year?
Back end. Like, we've got a good, strong veteran leader on each level of the defense.
Yeah.
And, as far as like Muji, yes, Muji has added some guys, but dude, like, you can't just say, oh, it's all Muji and not Glenn. Like, when you look at Demario Davis and David Amanyata, those are guys that played for Glenn in the past.
Right. So Muji and Glenn absolutely tiered together, and Muji gave the players that Glenn needed. Glenn didn't go out there and do what Muji did, but he told them there was absolutely a collaboration in that. But he gave him the players that he needs to run his defense and the players that we need to succeed. So he did absolutely. But where's the leadership on offense? Who is it?
It's got to be Gino.
I think Brees
Hall's. It's got to be Gino.
No, it's not going to be Gino. I mean, come on. He doesn't have a license 3 times. He goes driving. Come on, what is it?
He's
not a leader.
Have a voice.
He's our quarterback. He's not our Uber guy.
I know, but we saw
on the field.
Derrick Henry was a leader of Tennessee, right? Derrick Henry was for years the leader of Tennessee, right? He led that team. I think Brees, when he did last year, when he spoke up and said, "Give me the ball more" in the beginning of the season, and it worked. Yeah, he got it. And the year before, he needs to be the dog that is inside of him. Somebody needs to bring that out of him. And I think if he does that, he can be a leader of this team. I mean, I don't like people like Brandon Allen. He's like the Chris Ivory of the team, where he just pounds it up, and just shuts up, and just does it. But I think Brees can be a leader if he can perform, and he can believe in himself a little bit more. I see a little bit of disbelief in him when I see him run. He skates out of bounds sometimes. But when he was the dog, give me the freaking ball, throw the ball to me, I'm going to be open. That we all know about that. So I think leaders on the offense is something big that we need to find.
I think so too. I'm hoping to your point, Leppy. I'm hoping Brees can be that guy. We know Garrett can be that guy. I want to see Mason Taylor even in year 2, just being a son of a Hall of Famer. Just have that voice in the huddle. Like if you want the ball, Mason Taylor is very good in space and getting open. He's a very underrated route runner. Right. And let's see some of these young guys. And
what about the offensive line? Mango was a leader, right?
Yeah.
Before him was Kevin Mawai was a leader.
Titman. Yeah,
right?
Let's see
Titman. Let's see the lineman take the
I think Joe Titman could be one of those guys for us.
I'd love to see Titman wearing the C on his chest.
But that's what you need. You need someone to step up and be a leader on the offense. And it's all about attitude. When you're at that level where they're so great, it's about attitude and pushing your will to win. And that's what a leader is about. I think we need more of that on the offense. I think we found Demario Davis who's going to instill that in the defense. We found some other dogs. I mean, even Pons seems like, even though he's running around like a scat back, he's a leader. He's a leader in what he does, and he can become a leader down there. Yeah, he's a dog. That guy's definitely a dog. And I can't wait to see that guy in the field. He's going to get the first interception in the first freaking game. I'm telling you right now. I'm calling it right now.
He's my favorite draft pick outside of Omar.
Oh, absolutely.
Woo, yeah, baby.
Feeling froggy. Let's go, Ricky. Yeah, that's a good point, though. I never actually thought about that, Leppy, about having a vocal leader on the offense. And I think Frank Reich is going to have to and Bill Musgrave are going to have to prove a very vocal point to the rest of this team. Like, hey, how does your team react whenever you're down by a field goal or 7 points in the fourth quarter? How is your team going to react whenever you need one drive to score? how is your team going to react, especially from an offensive standpoint?
And that's why Bill Belichick couldn't do it without Brady, because he was the ultimate leader. He would just yell at the offensive linemen. He yelled at the defense. He would just same with Joe Montana. He did the same thing. He got the freaking people up and got them going. You got to have a leader on the offense saying, "Don't worry about it. I fucking got this."
I got you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
I completely agree.
sorry, I know I talked over you guys,
So
but
if you were
I
gonna
felt
No,
be,
you're
passionate.
good, Loki. Love it.
we'll leave Gino out of the conversation. If you were going to have to
That's what his
name
wife said.
who our teams, right? Who our team captains would be, who do you think they're going to be?
Hmm.
I think Garrett Wilson's going to try to be a leader, but I think he's going to be more of a diva if he doesn't get the ball. So I think Gino is going to really lean on his tight ends. If you watch successful Gino in any system he was in, his tight ends were like a good 50% of what he did.
Yeah.
So I think Mason Taylor will come up, but to be vocal, I think one of the linemen. I think everybody's saying Membo, he's still his second year in.
Yeah.
I think the offensive line as a
Chip
unit
in for
will
me.
carry this team as a leader. That's what I'm going to say. The offensive line as a team will push it forward, but I think the defense is going to be dogs. I mean, look who was our defensive line coach. I mean, look who we have
Dunbar,
on
baby.
defensive line. I think that switch around is. I am excited about the defense. I really am. As much as the offense is probably right, it's going to be like average or below average, whatever they do. I think I'm going to be looking forward to the defense. Guys like Pons just being like crazy. I am really excited about the defense, and nobody
Me too.
sees it, but
I am too.
I mean, it's not going to be Glenn play calling superpower, but I think those guys are going to be flying around and hitting as long as we're, staying within, a score or two. I think these guys are definitely going to show up. I can't see any
I
of
do
these guys
too.
not showing up.
And,
Like I said, I'm really excited about the defense. I am.
Me
I want
too.
to say it was yesterday, maybe. The Jets had their thing with EA and Leger Douzable talking about training camp. And the
Love
one thing
Leger.
that Leger was saying, he was like, I played for Carl Dunbar. Like, I can tell you. He was like, a lot of people were worried about, David Bailey and him being able to set the hard edge and how he's going to hold up against the run. And he was like, but Coach Dunbar, he was like, he will teach you, how to use your hands properly. What offensive linemen are trying to do to you on certain plays. Like, I know the kind of coach
Right.
that he
And
is.
Ricky, flat out,
No,
flat out,
he'll
flat out. If he
make
can't
it.
do it, he's going to pull him, and he's only going to put him in situational
Yeah.
or
Sala
baiting,
would leave.
like baiting.
Sala would leave Clemens out there, even though he fucks up. Like
Exactly.
You fuck up if you
Exactly.
Get a 10, 15 yard
This is
field
my
goal.
system. You run the system. I put the people in the system, and
Yeah.
that was the thing about last year too. We had a lot of solid system people. The thing that pisses everybody off is Glenn's like, it's about coaching. I'm going to coach these people. It's like you didn't even know these fucking guys. Why would you say that? You got to evaluate first. And obviously, he was wrong about the system that he wanted to run on defense, and these guys just didn't get it.
You know what?
Yeah.
Again, Glenn could only evaluate what he saw on tape. He didn't know their personalities. He didn't know them as people, and he hadn't seen how they reacted when things started going bad. And I think he got a real rude awakening when it came to a lot of guys on this roster. A lot of those guys who are now gone and needed to be, frankly.
Yeah, I think it was tough because we didn't have a lot of cap space to fill a lot of the gaps that we needed to last year. And I think I've always been a firm believer in second chances. So, I mean, he's our head coach. We got to roll with him. So, I'm gonna keep my hopes high. I got faith in AG, and I definitely will be able to say if AG can't win with this roster, then we know what the problem is, because even going into last year, I'd take the Jets roster over the Patriots last year, and they made the Super Bowl. I'd take it almost every position, every Jets player, in terms of position on any player of the Patriots, and take any Jets player over anybody on the Patriots last year. And coaching goes a long way in this league. Even the Chiefs have a Hall of Fame head coach and quarterback, and they went 6-11 last year. The margin of victory is so small at this level. It's all about closing games. Like
Yep.
Like my point before, like
You got to
six
win
of
the
our
game.
first 8
You're supposed
games.
to win.
Yeah.
And
That's
not
why we
having
gotta
a kicker doesn't help.
I got faith in Banjo. I like Sanders.
I do too.
I got to see it, but I'm hoping in the preseason, because we know he's going to see a lot of reps. I feel like a lot of Jets fans are going to be a little bit more positive. Hopefully, if Sanders comes out and starts banging, it's like some 50-yarders. Because I think Jets fans need that, because I'm with Luffy. I think kicker is a concern right now, but I think at this point I just got too much faith in Banjo. And I am very intrigued to see how this training camp battle goes between Cade York and Jason Sanders. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I wanted to sign and keep Nick Folk, but I mean,
I did
man once
too.
said you can't always get what you want. So
Nope, we can't.
especially when you're a
true.
Jets fan. But yeah, I got faith in Banjo. I think the kicker's going to sort itself out.
Yeah, I don't think Banjo would have let Folk go if he didn't know something or if he didn't feel something.
Yeah.
Hawk, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy.
Hawk, man, one of the OGs, man. I love Hawk.
I love
Hawk is an
folklore.
OG.
Hopefully, he gets in the Jets Ring of Honor one day. Love myself some Nick.
He got in the Sarah Ring of Honor. That's what I heard.
Joey Sly's still a good kicker. There's still 2 or 3 free agent kickers. They're going to bounce around. For some reason, they're like one of the few positions, punter and kicker, that actually it's like illegal to touch them, and they just get hurt all the time. Whenever we got Young Wei Koo, I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And then we waived him, and I was like,
yeah, I was excited too, but then when I really looked into it, he was great for Atlanta, but he fell off the freaking face of the earth, and then we picked him up. And you understood why at least they were smart enough to let him go, which is why I have faith in the special teams coach. I'm telling you, I do. Like I said, if there's something in Nick Falk, he couldn't hit the long ones, so you got to give him a little. You got to give him a leeway because he's only got to perform last year as a coach.
Yeah.
So
I think at this point in time, I got too much faith in Banjo. So we'll see how that pans out. And I think, is Justin Tucker still available? I don't know. I know there's some pretty greasy allegations that was against him.
Yeah, he's still out there, but there's a couple other guys out there too. I think
Kickers
Randall's still out there.
Joey
is
Sly.
McManus out there?
dude, how hard is it to kick a fucking ball if you did it in college? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Right?
I'm just serious.
Kickers age pretty well.
It's got to be mental with that guys. It's got to just be mental.
Mm-hmm.
So
it
you got to
is,
mix
but
it.
man, like when kickers are on, they're on, but then like when they fall off, man,
It's like
they
a
fall off.
It's like a relieving pitcher. It's like a relief pitcher. You know, they do great for a year and then they fall face of the earth. They get the great contract and then they just suck. So, it's year to year. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Although Falk was consistent from 50 and under, or actually 45 and under. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
Yesterday was Mick Jagger's birthday. Holy shit, he's still alive. That's crazy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mick.
Yes.
A day late.
Get to the Mick Jagger.
83 years old and still going. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He must be single.
I've got a friend of mine that's a girl that I went to high school with.
She's just a friend. A friend.
Yeah, really good friend. No romantic anything in our path. She used to date a really good friend of mine.
You say she's just a friend.
Go ahead, Rickie.
Sorry.
That's mine.
She's like the one person, like out of all my friends that I've had, that like I could always go to if I needed like good sound advice. Like, and most of the time,
you went to good sound advice. Oh, never mind. And keep going. Sorry.
But and recently when I've been going through some bad times, she was there. I'll tell you, when I had my accident and I almost lost my leg, I was in the hospital for a while.
When the hell was that?
Nobody came to visit me.
When the hell was that?
2019.
Okay, I didn't know you that.
What? Yeah. It was gruesome. It was bad. But yeah,
That's right.
lady hit me on. I was on my motorcycle. A lady hit me, hit and run accident, left me laying in the middle of the road and took off. And at any
Jeez.
rate, I was in the hospital for a while, dude. Nobody aside from my wife and family, nobody came to see me at all. And then one day she walks in the door, and I probably had not seen her in about 15 years in person. And she was one of the only people that came to see me. And she's just
That's
been
cool.
a great friend of mine. At any rate, she just happens to be friends with Alice Cooper. And like she's got pictures of her and him together on her Facebook. And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is where when he came to my niece's birthday party or something." And I'm like, "This is
Wow.
nuts! Like it's
That's
crazy."
awesome.
But she told me she was like, and I was like, "Dude, I did one of his last tours, the Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Alice Cooper tour." But I was only like building the stages and stuff. Like by the time they were coming in for sound check, we were out of there most days. And so I didn't really get to meet any of the bands or anything. Like I wasn't a roadie that was touring with them. I was just literally
Right.
building the stages. But I was telling her, she was like, "Oh, you know what?" She was like, "Next time they come around on tour," she was like, "I'll hook it up where I can get you guys some passes and you can go and meet the band and get to meet him and hang out and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, that'd be fucking amazing."
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
I know,
You're not
dude.
worthy.
That's going to be me for sure. But so that's kind of really cool, man. And
That is
so
cool.
now
That's definitely cool. I'm
I'm
glad you came out all right
hoping
on
you
the
guys
other
come
side.
around again. And dude, he's not getting any younger either. And
None of
I
us
mean,
are. Who gets
the,
younger? Can you
dude, the
tell me
last
somebody gets
year,
younger?
It's a fountain of youth.
in the last year, to lose Lemmy and Ozzy Osbourne and Eddie Van Halen,
Ozzy
like
was
all
tough.
in the last year, it's like,
Van
oh
Halen killed me. Van Halen killed me. That one killed me. I love that guy. I love that band. That is,
Eddie.
yeah, Eddie.
I
Eddie.
well, you see the background on the screen right now, man.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fucking Eddie fan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that one,
Yep.
dude. Him and Ozzy both, man. Those were both really tough.
Ozzy was a crazy batshit motherfucker. I'm surprised he lived that long. Okay,
Yeah,
come on,
well, yeah,
Hey,
come on, come
that's
on.
true, but still, man,
I used
that's
to
like
love that show. The
you
Ozzy
know some of
ones.
my earliest memories.
Michael
Were
Jackson's still alive, by the way. Was it Kel GF1F, whatever it is? He's still alive. He's just hiding. I'm telling you.
I think he lives next door to Elvis.
No, Elvis left the building.
But dude, when I was like a kid, like I saw pictures of my dad, like with like me in a backpack, like walking around at a Sabbath concert.
I'd
And
love
I'm
to see
like,
Ricky as a kid. That'd be fun.
yeah, I was like, okay, you know what?
Hell yeah.
This explains a
Is
lot.
the hair still long?
Dylan,
Yeah,
where we going? Where's the weed?
Hell yeah.
yeah. His was way longer than mine, but yeah, like my dad kind of looked like I don't know, he would have been in Skinner or the Allman Brothers band or something. He was a hippie, but yeah, I went to Led Zeppelin when I was little. I went to Black Sabbath when I was little. Went to a lot of shows when I was little.
That's awesome.
Explains a lot, Ricky.
It does. It really does.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But
There
you
we
know
go.
what? I feel so fortunate to grow up in the era that I did.
Yeah.
And, I remember like I first started like going to concerts, I would usually tag along with, some of my brother's friends or something that were older that could drive. And my parents had no idea that I was going to any shows at all. And then I was in like the 8th grade or something. And it was like Iron Maiden and Quiet Riot were coming. And
Quiet Riot. Dope.
somehow my
What about
mom,
Rat? What about Rat?
Oh yeah, dude. You can't name a band from that era that I didn't
damn,
see
yes.
multiple times.
Awesome.
But somehow my parents got wind of the fact that I was going to go to this show, and they were like livid. And they were like, "No, you're not. All those long-haired freak drug addict people. You're not going there by yourself." And I'm like, "Oh man!" And it was going to mess up the whole thing. Then like one day they come in, they're like, "Okay, we're going to let you go to that show." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like I can't believe this is happening. Like, and they were like, "Yeah, we bought tickets. We're going to go with you." And I'm like,
Nice.
"Oh, fuck no. You've got to be kidding." I was like, my girlfriend's going with me. My best friend's going with me.
Ricky was in scene for a week.
And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like my parents coming along, we're not going to be able to have any fun. This
You had a
sucks.
blast.
And so like, dude, there was nothing I could do about it. Like they were going to drive us. They were going to go. Well, one of the girls that was with us had won her ticket through the radio station.
Oh, cool.
And so we get there and she goes up and she's like, "Yeah, I won my tickets through the radio station." And they're like, "Well, we don't have them. You should have picked them up from the radio station." Like, and so all of a sudden she didn't have a ticket.
Bruh.
And so my parents were like, "Okay, you know what? We're just going to give her one of our tickets." And they were like, my dad was like, "Well, I'm not sending your mother in there around all those people by herself, but I can't leave her out here by herself either." And so they ended up deciding to both stay outside and trust us to behave ourselves as we went in. And dude, I mean, I clearly remember like that weight lifted off my shoulders and I'm handing the people my ticket. And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have to deal with the parental factor tonight. Hell yeah."
I think you set your parents up. That's what I think, Ricky. I think you're
No,
evil and you set your parents up.
No, I didn't.
I'm kidding.
But it worked out. But you walk
Ricky,
through that
I got an
alley
idea.
thing with all the t-shirt stands and stuff, and then I'm like walking through that corridor,
Yeah.
onto the floor of the arena. And as soon as I like come out of that corridor, I look and it's just an ocean of people with like smoke just rising up, and you could smell it in the air. And
So
I'm
like your room.
yeah, exactly like it. And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And,
No,
yeah,
it's like
it was
walking
awesome.
into your
And,
first stadium, your first game, and seeing all the fucking shit going out there.
And
You're
the
like, what
funny
the
thing
hell?
is this started this thing for my parents too, where like when we came out, and dude, it was a great show, partied our asses off, came out, and we come out, and my parents are like, "Oh yeah, man, there's this one girl that she was so out of it, she was crawling around like a fucking dog, crawling between the cars." And then there was this other guy that the security kept throwing him out, and then he'd sneak back in and they'd catch him again and throw him out again, and they did it like 4 or 5 times. And he's drunk as shit, and he'd be like, "All right, Mom, I'm going back in again," to my mom, and he'd go back in and they'd throw him back out. And dude, they had better stories from the parking lot than I had from inside. They were treated to quite a show out there. But dude, then it ended up like in this thing where like they would drive us all the time, and they would stay outside and watch all the people who were like too wasted to be inside. And they had some crazy stories, but they used to drive us all. Dude, one of the best ones. This is funny. The guy that I was telling you dated my good friend, the girl that's my advisor. Him and his brother and a couple other guys I know went with us, and we all went to go see Van Halen 1984 concert.
Oh man.
Fucking, well, we got there, and my buddy's like, "Yeah, man, I saved this joint for right before Van Halen." We smoked it, and like, dude, we're down on the floor of the arena, so it's like people all packed together. This motherfucker just sits down, and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" I was like, "If this crowd starts moving, you're gonna get trampled, dude. Like, what are you doing?" And but we're like that baked. And then eventually, fucking the lights go down, and they crank into fucking Unchained, first song. Fucking
feel the world rocking change.
yeah. Hello,
Banger.
Grandpa, we
I
love
love
you. Fucking, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
fucking.
Unchained.
And you might not know this, but Van Halen started and ended every one of their tours right here in Florida.
That's funny.
True fact.
Because they were away to Cabo Wabo, that's why.
But yeah, probably. Well, that was before that. But dude, anyways, like after the show that night, my parents picked us up. We hit like Burger King or something, and my buddy's
That's the
younger
best.
brother, fucking dude, he like scarfs down like fucking 2 Whoppers, 2 fries, and then fucking passes out like that, like. And fucking my
Burger
mom,
King will do that to you.
and dude, we're all fucking stoned as hell, yeah. And fucking my mom
Had a
turns
fry
around.
the other day. I passed out for an hour.
Yeah, my mom turns around.
Never
and she's
fry.
like, oh, she was like, that's so cute. Look, Brett was so tired that all he wanted to do was eat and go to sleep. And dude, when she said it, we all just started fucking dying because we're like, oh yeah, he's so tired.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. But dude, yeah.
Ricky, good stuff, Ricky, really good stuff, man. We love it. Love to hear that shit. That's why you're Ricky, New York Live.
Yeah, it's
Hell yeah.
dude, so many good shows back then. And I mean, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne was a great show. And I had a buddy that was working at the USF Sundome at the time. And one of Motley Crue's buses that had a bunch of their roadies and shit on it had broken down, and they didn't have people to unload their equipment. And my buddy came and asked me and some of my friends, like, hey, you want to help us unload some of the stuff? And so we did.
Yeah.
But we ended up meeting the band, and that was like the very first time I met the Motley Crue guys.
The first time you've met them more than once?
Yeah. I met those guys about
That's Ricky's
4
superpower.
times. Yeah. But yeah, and just dude, from doing different tours and stuff, you know, I've ended up meeting a bunch of people. But Phil, the drummer from Saigon Kick, I tattooed, and me and him kind of had a friendship. And anytime they were in town, they used to always call me, and we would go and hang out. And
Taco Bell, yeah, absolutely right, Derek. Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
You got. I'm sorry. I have to have the soft tacos from Taco Bell. I can't eat that shit in my car. Shit crumples away. You gotta have the soft taco.
Oh yeah, I gotta go in.
They used to have the Mexi melt. But they don't do that too much anymore. I don't think they do anymore. You know, it was like this cheese on top of cheese wrapped up in a freaking
There's
burrito.
some
It's
good
like,
stuff off the menus.
yeah, they do. The pizza finally came back, right? The Mexican pizza.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
you
I
know
love
what?
Try that.
I would not trust any food that I used to eat when I was drinking. Like, there was a place that we used to
Dude,
go
that's
to
the point.
all
That's the
time.
whole point of it.
Yeah, Taco Bell's
Dude,
changed
listen,
the
there was
risk.
a place
It's
that
the
we used
risk.
to go to all the time. Like when I would drink, and they had like a breakfast buffet, and
Yeah.
we would go there. And like after I
They
quit
sell a
drinking one
buffet?
night, it was the middle of the night, and we were
Oh.
coming back into town from somewhere, and
Kiss.
my wife wanted something to eat, and I was like, oh, you know what? We can go to this place right over here by, you know, close to the casino. We used to eat there all the time after the bar. Dude, that was the nastiest shit. I don't know how I ever ate that. Trying to eat it when I was sober, it was awful, man. Oh. Things we do. I am so glad I don't drink anymore.
Dude, the things we did back in the day, we were actually, Ricky, back in the day, we were actually free. Nobody had social media. Nobody. You did some crazy ass shit. Never came on anyway. You just told stories about it, and that was it. You were free, and you could just go out and do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, as long as you were home before the fucking lights went down. It's absolutely true, all that kind of stuff. And then my daughter, I'm gonna walk up to the store. I'm like, no fucking way, you're not doing that. You know, it's like a different world. It's crazy. But,
It really is. And I mean, it kind of started off with the just people taking videos with their cell phones. But like now with the social media, like you can do some dumb shit and hell is online an hour later. But
I got a little different take on it. It's like all the people who did crazy shit, right? they don't want their kids to do it because they know what they're going to do. So then the kids are fine. Then the kids let them do it, and then it's like a cycle that it goes on and off where they let them do crazy shit, and then they just.
There was actually it's this tattoo on my hand right here. When I got it done, I was really, really nervous about getting it done, and I ended up getting real drunk beforehand. And then once I got it done, it took him like barely 20 minutes, and it wasn't bad at all. It was, and then I was just drunk the rest of the day.
I can feel you.
I remember seeing some, talking to a bunch of people there, and then a couple of months later, I'm in Portland, Maine, at a convention up there, and I ran.
Is that when you woke up sober?
Oh God, I wasn't sober in Maine either. But I ran into some friends of mine from Philly, and I was, like, what shows are you doing after this? Like, and he was like, oh, I haven't been doing much. I did this one, and then I was in Miami a couple of months ago, and I go, really? I was like, the South Beach show. I was like, I was there too. I was like, man, I wish I would have known. I would have hooked up with you guys or something, and we could have hung out. And he looks at me and he goes, are you being serious right now? And I'm like, well, yeah, why? And he's like, bro, you were in our fucking hotel room for like an hour and a half, and you were completely out of control. And I'm like, no. And he was like, oh yeah. He was like, dude, we got the whole thing on fucking video. It's insane. And I'm like, no, like, dude, I have no recollection of being in their room at all whatsoever. I didn't even remember that I had seen them. But I'm like, that one line, like, we've got the whole thing on video. I just kept thinking, oh my God, no. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, you know what? When you're young, you do crazy shit. That's just the way it is. The important thing is that you learn from all those things, and in the long run, you become a better person because of them.
There's a beauty in mistakes. You learn from them.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and that's a good segue to go from my sordid past back to the Jets topic that we should be talking about.
That's okay. Those are some good stories.
Dude, you know what? It's kind of, rock and roll themed Jets show. So if we're talking rock concerts or music, I mean, it's all kind of goes along. And hey, you know what? There's that Alice Cooper song, when you're a jet all the way. From your first cigarette to your last dying day. Dude, I love that. Here come the Jets like a bat out of hell. Someone gets in their way. Someone won't feel so well. When you're a jet, you stay a jet. Fuck. Dude, that's an awesome Alice Cooper song. I think they should play that when the guys are coming out of the tunnel, personally.
Alice knows what's up.
Fuck yeah, dude. And you know what? The funny thing is he is a huge sports fan. Dude, like he's like a jock at heart.
Oh yeah.
You write a song
like that?
Yeah, when he had a restaurant that was a sports / rock and roll themed restaurant in Phoenix that was called Cooperstown. And dude, all kinds of athletes and shit would come in there, and they had all kinds of sports memorabilia everywhere, but it also had all kinds of rock stuff too. And in all honesty, that was kind of one of the inspirations for this show. Like, I was like, yeah, I could have like a rock and roll themed Jets show. And I mean, dude, like a lot of Jets fans who have been fans since the Namath days, longtime suffering Jets fans, like, dude, they were around, during the late 60s, early 70s, for all the Sabbath and Zeppelin and all that good music. And then, a lot of guys that are my age that grew up during the 80s. So Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like a really good fit.
Yeah, I tell you what, Ricky, I wouldn't trade being a Jets fan for anything in the world, man. The amount of friendships that are gonna last a lifetime, just in the last year or two, from being on your show, Boy Green show, the Asman show, just everybody's been nothing but kind to me, and they have absolutely like no reason to be kind to me. It's so funny, like I win like these, I win all these raffles on Jake's show. Like I got all these signed helmets. I got
Damn.
signed jerseys behind me, and all my Chiefs fans are like, "Man, I wish we had Chiefs content creators that did stuff like that." And I think it just goes to show how special this fan base
Community is great. It is. It's like we're all connected, and Ricky knows this since day one. It's been what 5 years almost, Ricky. Uh,
Yep.
Everybody was as much as we have fun with each other. Is so respectful for each other. We all are in the same boat.
So
We all feel the
blessed.
same way about the team. We feel the same way, and we're all looking for something to reach out to, and then we reach out to each other, and we just embrace each other because we're all in the same
We're
boat. And
family.
I love it. Yeah, we're family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I call it my second family. That's why my wife
yeah.
keeps yelling at me. You're your family. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, and that's the other
Bet.
thing too, is like this community has helped me recently going through a bad time. Jake is helping Stack right now. We've helped Bill M. We this community
Charles
is being
Gorman,
help.
Beast, Bobby,
Yeah.
we all help
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and I think that it's so easy for us to pull together and support somebody, when they're going through a hard time. Because as Jets fans, we're going through a hard time every season,
That's all
and
we
we're there
have.
for each other. So it's
For
kind
Yeah.
of just like a built-in instinct
Yeah.
with us.
And the meetups are incredible. I mean, the
They
meetups.
are.
Way.
They are.
I
They're
am
so
so
awesome.
mad at myself for not being able to do a lot of the meetups this year because life gets in the way. It does.
It
Got a
does.
family.
It's
Got,
expensive
yeah.
to travel now too.
yeah, that too. But I'm definitely going to be there Saturday. I'm going to be there. I'm
That's
gonna.
awesome.
I'm
man.
taking off. I know my work's is giving me a hard time. I'm like, I'm getting off. I'm 61 years old. Fuck that. What are you gonna do? Fire me? I'm better than anybody else they got. So I'm taking off, and I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna see Chef Kev. I'm gonna see everybody because I'm not gonna be able to make the meetup for the game against Miami, and I really wanted to do Miami, but my goddaughter's getting married, so I can't do that. So.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
would
I
Jake
actually bought the
want?
tickets, and I forgot that was the same date. And Jake reimbursed me. I'm like, oh, thank you, man. I'm an idiot, but dude, meetups are just incredible. It's like a face is like real, and you just talk about stuff, and you just meet everybody. It is just so incredible that you can meet this community together, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about this, man. That's why I'm on. That's why you're on. That's why you're on. That's what,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
It is awesome, man.
Jets
When
fans
when
unite.
Jake did the meetup here in Tampa, dude, getting to hang out with Laney and the big fella and Rick Kent and yeah, dude, so many people. Charleston Jet Root, Terrence
I
Hill,
still haven't met Leany. I still haven't met
Matt
Leany
Britt.
in person.
or I mean Lee Van.
Yeah. I met
Dude,
Tom Ace. I thought Tom
Brian.
Ace was a myth. I thought he was like Chat GPT because he's funny as hell. But I met him at the
He's
Asmania
awesome.
meetup last year. Yeah, I went to
Tom is,
Carolina,
yeah.
and he was awesome. That guy is the funniest guy in the chat. I'm sorry, when he says something, you got to watch it. It's pretty funny.
Tom cracks me up all the time.
Yeah, he does.
I got
Yeah,
mad.
He
I was
says
about
it
to say,
before I
he
can think
cracks
it.
me up in the chat all the time. But yeah, man, just getting to meet everybody. Jets Johnny, I met at the game the following day.
Just Johnny's a
Dude, it
good
was
guy.
awesome getting to hang out with everybody, and there's still so many people. You both of you guys,
Yeah.
a ton of people in the chat. And there's still Addison and Nate and Clancy and Nick Shine and I mean, BG. There's just a shitload of people I haven't got to meet in person yet that I would like to. So, Jeff,
Ricky,
yeah.
give it a few years. I'll be down in Florida living, so we'll definitely
Right?
meet up. We will meet
Oh,
up.
definitely.
Isn't that what we do as New Yorkers? We go down to Florida and live.
There's a lot of people from New York here. That's for sure.
Yeah, but the hurricane insurance and the flood insurance is crazy now here.
Yeah, you just move a little bit inland, like
I don't
do
want
where-
inland. I want coast. I want to go to
I am.
coast. I
And
like
we
beach.
did have a couple. We had a couple in a couple of years that were, pretty bad for us. But for whatever reason, like Tampa being like on that inside kind of coastline on the Gulf, like a hurricane basically has to either turn where it comes right up that coastline to get us, or it would have to like go out into the Gulf and then make a U-turn and come back, which they just don't do.
Derek's like, yeah, the lake can be crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the water's not the right temperature.
Ain't no oceans around here. I've been to Jersey, Florida, but yeah, no oceans around here in Kansas.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm
do
thinking
that.
since we've had a couple of bad ones in a couple of years, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a while before we get another bad one. Knock on wood. I better not run my mouth. I'd jinx myself.
Knock on wood.
But
We're pulling for you. Whatever happens, the Jets community will take care of you, brother.
Dude,
yeah,
can we get a season?
Away,
Can we get a season so we all be happy? Can we get a season? Can we get some wins?
Can
Man,
we
that's
win
all
more
I
than
want.
7
That's
games
all I
for the
want.
Can we
first
go
time in a
2-0?
decade?
Can we beat the goddamn Texans? Excuse me, Tennessee Titans.
Titans.
Can we beat the freaking Packers?
I think so.
Because they're not going to have what's his name?
Parsons.
Yeah.
They
So
might
can
not
we
have
do
Josh
that?
Jacobs.
Yeah,
me and
that's
Rickie was
all I
talking
want.
about
I
it.
want a winning season. And I mean, even if it's not playoffs, I just want a winning season. That's it.
Yeah. It's been a decade, brother. That's crazy. We haven't won more than 7 games in a decade. But I do think we will start 2-0. I really do. Heck, I mean, even 1-1, hover 500, and we go 4-4. Can we beat the teams we're supposed to beat? Can we beat the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Browns, the Dolphins? Can just beat the teams you need to beat, and the rest will take care of itself. Because I think just even as optimistic as I am, the best way to make the playoffs and get a top 4 seed is win your division. I don't know.
Well, dude, I mean, if you look at the Patriots last year, they made it to the Super Bowl. But, dude, if it wasn't for C.J. Stroud, if some things hadn't gone their way, like, it's not like they dominated people and got there. I think they.
But you got to get to the playoffs, Ricky.
But yeah, once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. That's it. Like, dude, I remember one year, when I was young, I watched like the San Diego Chargers back their way into a Super Bowl that they had no business being in, and got destroyed by the Niners. Like it was, it was brutal.
87.
Yeah, the Chargers never win in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. You make it into the playoffs, and anything can
make
happen.
it. I just want to end the drought, man.
Yes,
we're
I'm ready to end this drought. I want a winning season this year, and by next year, dude, there will be a playoff mandate. Next year, it will be. You better make the playoffs or else.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have like 160 million, which leads the NFL going into next year, and we have 3 first-round draft picks. So the Jets definitely have the capital to make a run. And who had the Seattle Seahawks going winning the Super Bowl? Not me.
Nobody.
So it takes a lot of luck. You got to stay healthy. Staying healthy is the main key. Last year, we've seen a lot of pivotal quarterbacks go down. There's a lot of teams, if they lose their starting quarterback, I mean, you're basically screwed. Who are the ones? Brock Purdy went down. Jaden Daniels went down. Joe Burrow went down. Pat Mahomes went down. Lamar Jackson went down.
Don't say Justin Fields.
Well, if Justin Fields goes down week 1 like Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor comes in, maybe we are hovering 500. I don't wish injuries on anybody, but it takes a lot of luck and staying healthy to make a good playoff push. And I just want to play meaningful games in December because we hadn't had that since we started 6-3 with Zach Wilson.
I want meaningful games in October.
I do not like having our bye week so late. I think that might end up presenting a challenge. But if we can make it all the way till then, with the majority of the guys being healthy, it might end up being a good thing to give us a rest late in the year.
So there's an adage, In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So everybody says, "Oh, we got a tough schedule." If you want to make the playoffs, you got to be a playoff caliber team.
Yeah.
So you
Yep.
need to beat these guys, not season, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got to beat at least two of those guys. If you want to make the playoffs, you got to make a fucking point. You got to go out there and do it. It's not handed to you. It's not because your schedule is great like the Patriots last year. It's because you are a playoff caliber team,
Yeah.
and you need to show it by doing it. And then show me something, Aaron Glenn. Show me you can beat these teams. Show me.
Win close games. I remember Xavier Gibson punt return touchdown to beat Buffalo week 1 at home. That was our biggest obstacle in the division that year. I was like, man, we're already 1-0 in the division, and we just
Exactly.
beat Buffalo.
Well,
So win the division games. That's the best way to make the playoffs. Go 4-2 in
and-
your division.
You know what? And really, an easy schedule does you no favors, because if you just beat a bunch of,
I don't care about that, Ricky. If you want to be a playoffs team, you got
One
to
and
beat
done.
quality teams.
Yes, yeah, I completely agree, man. Like you got to beat the good teams.
You don't beat Chicago or Green Bay or one or the other. If you don't do that, you don't deserve to be there. So prove you deserve to be there. Have a different attitude, have a different mindset, and have a different plan. And going forward, if you want to be a fucking good team, you have to beat good teams.
I think we have the talent to do so. There's a statistic that I shared on Boy Green's show this morning. Since 1990, 36 straight years, 4 different teams have made the playoffs.
Oh wow, holy shit, Kel! I did not realize that you're in Japan. I had no idea.
Shout out.
What time is it? What time is it in Japan right now?
That's a good question, Ricky.
It's probably like morning time. This is probably a morning show for him. Awesome. Dude, that's awesome. I can't believe I have a viewer from Japan watching.
1 p.m. Eastern.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, afternoon show.
Or noon. Okay. Noon Central Japan. Nice.
Oh, I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is Tokyo time.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'll tell you what. Like I said, it's going to take more than a toothpaste commercial to beat us. This is not the same team we were before. Did you hear that the other day on Jake's show? Luppy, Fireman Ed had some buddies that were at that golf tournament thing, and they saw Sala, and they told Sala, "Hey, we'll see you week 1." And Sala turned around and told him, "Yeah, we're going to beat your ass."
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? When was that? I must have missed that one. I watched them after the fact all the time.
I want to say that was yesterday morning on Jake's show when he was doing it from the Marty Lyons golf tournament thing.
Was that clipped,
And,
Ricky? Because I'd be putting that in the Jets in locker room.
Dude,
right
yeah.
before week
Post
1.
that. Yeah, he
Hey,
said
you
he said
hear
he,
what
he
Robert
should.
told?
Yeah.
Yeah, post the whole
Yeah,
Now I
so-
remember. Yeah.
So, and I know that
Dude.
I started to bring that up on Boy Green's show this morning,
It takes the ball.
and but he's doing a whole show on that topic tomorrow morning, and so I kind of held off on saying exactly what was said. So we're gonna save that for tomorrow. But dude, like
They
when
better
I
hope
heard
they
that,
can
I
run
was
the
like,
ball.
"Oh yeah, is that right? Huh? Okay."
They better hope they can run the ball against us. That's all I know.
That's what I
They're
said,
not
dude.
gonna be
Week
able
1,
to, man.
Jake
They're
was not-
going to be able to.
Jake was not really over the top with week 1. Means a lot.
I
It
think,
does.
especially for Jets fans' morale. That's okay.
Yeah.
There's 17 weeks. You know, some people want to say it's not a must-win. For Jets fans' morale, it's a must-win.
For the
Jack
Jet players, it's an attitude. You got to at least beat the coach that you fired. It's an attitude. It's a
Yeah.
it's a start to the season.
It's a team
Not like
with the top
Pittsburgh.
4
It was
picks.
last year.
It's a team.
You know,
with the top
it's-
4
Well,
picks.
yeah.
not only that, but if we don't win in week 1, I'm not even going to want to hear all the anti-Glenn shit
You'll know
that's
it's
going
coming.
to come along with. Oh
You'll
God,
know.
you
You're
know.
hearing it now. You're hearing it now. So what's the difference?
So yeah, I know. But that will do a lot to quiet some of that shit, you know. And God
For a
forbid
week.
we start out 2-1, 2-0, then
0-2, you mean?
Nope, 2-0.
We're 2-0. We're 2-0, dude.
So
Dude.
the
Dude.
Jets are 9-5 against the Packers all time. I know that doesn't mean a lot, but I
No, I know, I understand, and I know that we are not intimidated like other teams against the Packers. I know that we have a little bit of uh, an
I want
edge
to
for
say,
some reason. There is something to that where when you play a team, there's an edge to you over another team. I don't know what it is, but
I
sometimes that
want to
happens, and I
say the
think Packers
last
is one of them.
time. Yeah, I want to say the last time that we played the Packers
Oh, scarred the cheesehead.
was the ass kicking that made
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers want to be our quarterback.
The sauce garden and cheesehead. I had it
Yeah.
on my fucking screensaver forever.
we were like 17 point or like 14-point dogs or something.
Yeah.
I know it was a lot because I bet on the Jets $20 to win that week, and I got like 100 and some bucks.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I think they're gettable.
Dude, what's up, James?
Ricky, what's up, my man? Long
What's
time
happening,
no
brother?
speak, brother. I'm around the clock with this Jet stuff now, man. We're full go with this now. Let's
What's
go.
up,
Right on.
James?
First off, it's nice to speak to you, other gentlemen. I am not. Pleasure to meet you. I am not worried one iota about Week 1. I'm really not.
Love the youth.
They don't. Tennessee doesn't scare me. They. What? Give me one advantage that they have over the Jets. I'll wait.
They have players
field, that's it.
that played with us, so they have an insight about
Who?
how we do
Jermaine
things.
Johnson.
A couple other players too.
All right, throw him. Yeah,
John
I know.
Franklin Myers.
Yes.
I'm not worried about
Well, the scheme is different.
JFM, yeah, it's
There.
different scheme. I don't know. I just
Robert Sala's defenses are pretty good, but I don't trust Cam Ward, and that's why I think we win Week 1. And I'll be there. So
Derek, I'm with you too because I don't think Robert Saleh defenses cover the tight ends as well.
no,
As Geno Smith loves the tight
I've seen
ends,
that time and time
we have
again.
two really good tight ends. I think Mason Taylor's going to make a step up, and I think that and then a little bit out in the flats is going to be Brees Hall on a little wheel route. Yeah, I
Yep.
think we can do it, but do we do it is the question.
We have. A
I
veteran.
think what you just said. Sorry, what you just said, my
Lucky.
man. I think that Mason Taylor is not spoken enough about. He had 44 or 45 receptions last year. Not a crazy year, but look at who we had throwing him the ball, right? And he still had a very solid season. He's great in the run game. I think he's only going to get better. He's going to put on a little more weight. He's going to get stronger. And I think just moving forward with him and with Sadiq, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him because we can either we could line him up in the back. I envision like Geno in the shotgun. I could see Sadiq on one side, Brees on the other, and then you have your weapons. You have AD, Garrett, and Omar, and that to me can be super, super scary.
James,
I
I
don't-
love it. I love what you're saying. I love
Yeah.
it. That's getting me psyched up. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I
think-
just don't know. Like the way I'm thinking about it as we're getting closer and closer. Like I'm trying to think about every scenario that could be possible, and how are you going to cover that? Someone's going to be open, and if there's time, Geno's going to find him. Now the problem with Geno last year, obviously, was that offensive line was a piece of shit. They were an absolute sieve. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. I mean, it was horrible. But if you go to 2024, and like I said this morning, Ricky, 2024 and 2023, if you look at that 2023 year, that Pro Bowl season, was it all pro or just Pro Bowl?
Can't stop a
Pro
nosebleed.
Bowl.
It was Pro Bowl. Either way, he had a phenomenal year because he had time to throw the ball. He had time to find his receivers, and we have the weapons.
James, let me
Comeback
ask you a
player of the
question.
year.
Yeah.
Solid type of defenses are great on the pass. Are they really good on against the run? Not
Yes,
really.
they're
right?
very good against the run.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, they penetrate, but they don't play the run in the long game. So what I'm going to tell you right now is Brees Hall is going to pound and ground on these guys. I'm telling you right
Wait
now.
a second. I'm not a big Robert Saleh guy. I'm really
Right.
not. I was at one point, but I'm not any longer.
So
Obviously,
he plays linebackers. He's basically like a 3-4 kind of guy.
he's a
So he's going to
4-3
give.
guy. He's a 4-3 guy.
Excuse me, 4-3. I had a couple. That's what I meant to say. So what they like to do is they like to penetrate, and
They do. Yeah, they like to go upfield. Yes.
Right, exactly. So what happens when the back gets past them, which is Brees Hall's thing? I think they're going to ground and pound.
You're
them.
preaching to the choir in that.
Yes.
I think the Jets all year, and this is what I said this morning. I said it to Rickie and I said it to BG this morning. I said my passing numbers for Geno are lower than some people may have because I think we're going to be running the ball so much. I think Geno's going to have anywhere from 3650 to 3850, but I think Brees is going to get his anywhere from 15 to 17 touches a game, and then you're going to sprinkle in Braylon short yardage, Isaiah on a couple third downs, and we're going to run the ball a lot more than people think. So that's only going to help Geno.
Yep. And the feature back is going to be Brees, though. You know that. Everybody knows.
Of course.
Robert Saleh's run defenses as Jets head coach, 2021, 140 rushing yards per game allowed, 29th.
That's horrible. So I stand corrected. Yeah.
2022, 125.2 rushing yards per game.
Thank you.
But Rickie, but guys, is it me when he was head coach? Defense wasn't necessarily a worry.
No.
So
we finished first.
I take that with a grain of salt. You know that I take all. I got to tell you, I really hate today's game in the sense of everything's about analytics, and a lot of times numbers do not tell the full story, especially in football. You can have a quarterback that has 3 interceptions on his record that bounced off a receiver's chest. So you have to take everything you got to take everything with a grain of salt. You can't just evaluate everything in a vacuum. You know what I mean?
It's the eye test talking about.
Exactly. And numbers can be misleading. We touched on this earlier. Dude, right now, the only advantage anywhere that Tennessee has on us would be Jeffrey Simmons, who's very good, over Josh Myers. But we can double team him. There's things we can do.
There's ways to scheme him.
Scheming. Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, and their offensive line projected to be worse than the NFL. That's a good thing for us because our defensive line, I think, is going to be our strongest unit. And their secondary is also kind of trash. So they've definitely got their weaknesses, and I think we're just, I
got to tell you,
well-rounded roster.
Going to see a lot of screens.
Cut you off. No, I got to tell you guys, I think that this defensive line is not being spoken enough about. I really think with Carl Dunbar leading this defensive line, I think that they are going to be a menace all fucking year. I really believe with Juwan Briggs, with Sweat, I personally love Harrison Phillips. I think he's just a steady force. The Anyamata, Joseph Asai.
Asai, yeah.
You got some dudes up there that can really press the pocket and push the situation and get in the quarterback's lap. And that's
agree.
And I think that's going to be key this year.
100% agree. 100%.
Rotational wise on the defensive front, I don't think I've ever seen anything in terms of the talent that we've had. Not even in Rex Ryan's years. I think that with the way that we're going to be able to rotate guys in and out, I think quarterbacks are going to be under duress all year. I don't know how many sacks it's going to inevitably lead to.
It doesn't necessarily have to lead to sacks as long as there's pressures. As QB pressures are key. So if we're getting in the quarterback's face and he can't step up and step into his throws, that's just as good as a sack.
We got to have the lead to do that, though.
Absolutely.
True.
I'm going to let you guys discuss this for just 1 minute longer while I run to the bathroom. But
go ahead.
I have to too.
I think the defensive line.
I'll stay on with you, my man. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Right on.
Yeah.
And I know Derek can hold it down too. Both of you guys, man, are
no problem. So Derek, let me ask you a question, brother. What do you think about the secondary?
I love I love Mika Fitzpatrick.
Me too. Underrated.
I'm intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see
I can't hear you.
where. Oh, you can't hear me?
I lost you. Can't hear.
Oh, you lost me? Oh, it might have been because Rickie left. Not sure. Chat, can you hear me? One sec. Here, check the.
No.
Still nothing?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh,
Ah, shit. Hold on. Let me try and
Check 1, 2.
Can't
You
hear
guys
you.
hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Huh. That's so
All
weird.
right, let me I'll pontificate for a second, I guess. Yeah, I think the secondary. I love Az Thomas. I think he's going to take a next step this year, right? I love Pons. I don't think he's just a slot corner. I think he's an outside corner. He's going to end up being a boundary corner for us at some point. I don't know if it's to start the season or whether it's a couple games in, but he's the real deal. I'm a big fan of Pons.
Same.
Brandon Stevens, listen, I think he gets a bad rap. To be honest,
Yeah.
Rickie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, James?
I'm gonna have to get out and call back because I can't. I'll call
Can
back.
you not hear
I'll
me?
call back in.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, call back in. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but yeah, call back in, James, and I'll bring you right back in.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah, I asked the chat. They said they can hear me, but as soon as you dropped, he said he couldn't hear me, but I could hear him. So I'm not sure.
Okay, here we go.
Been acting up.
All
Good.
right, you're back.
Yeah, I
again.
can hear you guys. All right, good.
Okay,
All right,
You
cool.
good? Nice.
Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Good deal.
No, we were just talking about the and Rickie,
Thomas
I'd like to get your take on it. Yeah, on the secondary. So, I'm a big Az Thomas guy.
Me too.
Right. I think Pons is going to end up being our
Outside.
boundary corner. Yeah, our other outside corner. I don't think he's going to be in the slot. I love Jason Brownlee. I love his toughness, his aggressiveness. He's a nickel hybrid type guy, like a Michael Carter. So I'm a big fan of him. But I was saying, I think Brandon Stevens, right? He's hated in this community. He's really not liked, and
Yeah.
he's not.
Reasons
I don't.
why.
But I don't think he had a horrible year last year. I don't think it was good by any
Beginning of the year
means.
was horrible. Beginning of the year was horrible.
The beginning was not good. The
He
beginning,
turned
but
his back on every freaking pass. His back was to
Middle of the
everything.
season, he was near top 10 in every.
Yeah.
but he said, yeah, he settled in. He settled in and got a little better. He did. But I'm not saying I'm putting my my hat on his ring or anything like that. I don't think he's going to be. He's a good
gotta
depth
prove
piece. Yeah, but my
Yeah.
question is, who are the two outside corners right now? Az Thomas and Pons?
No,
Nashawn Wright?
it's gonna be
You know what? I
Stevens.
think to start the year, I think it's going to end up being Stevens and
Wright?
no, Stevens and Thomas and Pons in the slot.
What about Nashawn Wright though? Where is he? Like,
I'm intrigued to hear this. We'll go around the horn, Rickie. Go ahead.
You know what? I don't know why, and I had mentioned this earlier, but all the insiders, everybody from Samini to Nick Fury, everybody says that Brandon Stevens has cemented himself as one of the starters, and I'm not sure why. He was better down the stretch, but at the same time, he still gave up the most touchdowns in the entire league.
Contractual.
did he really? Is that
Yeah.
really?
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I could see him getting outplayed down the stretch. I think he'll be one of the starters to begin the year. I don't think he'll be a starter by the end of the year.
But what? Okay.
And I could realistically see a path where by the end of the year we have Thomas and Pons starting outside and Brownlee in the slot. But that being said, we've got a lot of options. I do like the depth of the room. That's one of the things I'm most curious about is how they got those guys lined up and how they use those guys. So that's one thing that I can't wait to see tomorrow.
I'm kind of where you're at, Ricky. I like Brandon Stevens. I definitely think he deserves a shot starting outside. We'll see how it goes. So how I see it going, I think it's going to be Stevens and AZ on the outside with Jarvis and Pons fighting for the nickel. I love Nashawn Wright. I'm intrigued to see if maybe he earns the safety 2 spot. I wonder if AG is like, hey, you know what? You had 5 interceptions, tied the NFL for most interceptions. You had 3 forced fumbles.
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't be opposed to that.
And I love Malachi Moore, even if we keep a third safety, which I'm not so sure if I see necessary. But worst comes to worst, I think Malachi Moore might end up seeing himself on the practice squad. But I think to start the season, I think we're going to see Stevens, AZ, and then training camp battle for the nickel with Brownlee and Pons. And then Minka's your strong safety. And then I think I wouldn't mind seeing Nashawn Wright as a free safety, maybe battling with Dane Belton and Malachi Moore. I just see 4 safeties there. I think it's a better fit, and I could definitely be wrong. But I think
I think you're on point. You're on point.
I think Nashawn Wright maybe ends himself the safety slot behind Minka, and Dane Belton and Malachi Moore maybe battled out for the third safety spot if we have one.
I think you're a little light on Moore, but you're on point though.
Yeah, I love Moore. I love Moore. That's what makes it so tough. We're paying Wright, so and maybe Wright will be.
Yeah, you're right. You're paying Wright. You're right. They're paying Wright. You're right. It's about the money.
Maybe it will be Wright, Stevens, and then AZ, Pons, Brownlee. But in terms of overall depth of the room in our secondary, it's getting a lot of grief from the mainstream media, but I could not disagree.
I don't care.
More. I think this is one of the deeper secondaries that we've probably seen sometime. Go ahead.
Agree.
I'll use the restroom. Take it here from brother. I'm listening though.
I'm more worried about the linebacker crew. That's it.
Same.
No, I think Nashawn Wright led the league in turnovers last year. So I think there's something to be said for that. I mean, I don't know that he's necessarily going to be buried on the bench. He's long. They say he can move like a 5'10" corner. I've watched some of his film. I think I've seen him play live once or twice, but I don't think that's something that we should discount or necessarily think that's not going to be the case because the guy has proven it by leading the league in turnovers. What did he have? 4 picks and 3 forced fumbles or 3 fumble recoveries?
5 picks and 3 turnovers, and I think his 5 interceptions tied Kevin Byard for
that's insane.
Interceptions.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's a stud. He's long. He reminds me. Well, I'm not going to put this on him.
Cromartie?
Yeah.
His overall coverage wasn't great though. Even with the turnovers, his overall coverage wasn't great.
Well, those long guys, they take chances, so they're going to whiff sometimes. That's what.
2 of those 5 interceptions came in the same game against JJ McCarthy. That were both just fucking atrocious.
Context is everything. So yeah,
it is. So, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just trying to,
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's a very valid point,
dude. That being said, that's going to be great competition, and we got a lot of options there. So that's going to be. Probably the most fun battle I think in camp is to see who ends up being those 2 starting corners.
I agree, and I think Pons is going to be a dog, and I just think it's set. It's already set in stone. That kid is going to be a fucking stud.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of Revis in him. To me,
he's got a lot of Revis. He does have a lot of the coach in him too. Like go watch Aaron Glenn's film. It's not like hyperbole. It's very similar. It is.
To watch
And
an
I mean,
He's a
AG
gamer.
almost
He's a
to
gamer.
watch AG almost tear up whenever they announce him, and it showed player comparison, and it said Aaron Glenn. I was like, let's fucking go, dude, because I
And
wanted
listen,
Fonz.
dude, I'm such an AG guy, and I'm gonna have so much. My brother-in-law is a diehard Giants fan, and he shits on me
Sorry.
all the time. Yeah, yeah, it's a nightmare. Uh, but me and him go back and forth, and he can't. He thinks Aaron Glenn is a joke, and I keep saying he's not. He's the real deal. Watch, blah blah blah, and I just hope. I want him to be the guy so bad. I don't
I,
know if
I
he's
don't
gonna
think
be.
I don't think AG's a joke. I think he's bit off more than he can chew going into the first season, and we'll see about the second season.
I'm a big believer in second chances,
Yeah,
and
so
he's got his chance to prove it. And if a
Me
Jets fan
too.
wants to sit there and say that he's got to prove it, there's a lot of indicting statistics. First team in NFL history without a single interception. First team in NFL history to lose 5 straight games by 23 or more points. But I'm not giving up on him. I would very much love AG to succeed. And I
We've
was
been
telling
through
Ricky
worse
and
than
Lovey,
that.
yeah, I think I was telling Ricky and Lovey like we got the roster to do it. And if another
we
Jets
got
fan wants to
his
say, show it
roster.
to
We got
me,
his roster.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Muji's roster, more importantly,
And
Muji's
Muji's
roster.
I'm not here to defend AG, but I definitely want to see him succeed because I am sick and tired of looking for new head coaches. And
Me too, man.
there's
Me
nothing
too.
I'd love more than to see AG succeed. But if a
This,
Jets fan says that they got to see it, I'm not gonna. I
you,
can't disparage.
you know what? You know what I thought about the other day? I was driving. I was on my way into Queens, and I was listening to the fan. And it just popped into my head. Seth Ryan is on this team.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna be something. I wonder if he's gonna, be like an up and coming offensive mind. I don't know.
I think he definitely could be. And
What's up, Jay?
Jay.
hell yeah. There we go.
Hook.
Let's go.
Love Hook.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll take it every day and twice on Sunday.
That's his record in Australia.
But honestly, what's your guys' predictions for the year? Honestly, Ricky, give what's your honest opinion?
Go ahead, Ricky. We'll go around the
8
horn.
wins.
8.
Eight.
I
and
think that's fair. I think that I would say the same. Go ahead, bro.
You guys
I got us at 7 and 10, but I think the team's ceiling's 10 and 7.
You don't want to know
I'll go
mine.
8 and 9. I'll go 8 and 9, but I could see 10 and 7. I think we have the talent for a 10 and 7 roster. What do you
Yeah,
guys
I mean,
think?
initially I was saying, 7 wins right off the bat. And then me and Matt O'Leary did our, schedule breakdown show for the year, and we counted them up and ended up with 9. And I was like, holy shit. Like as we were making the picks, I didn't think it added up to be that many.
Right.
But there was one that we were both kind of on the fence about. And so I'm going to say 8.
What's that?
That was the second Patriots game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they do worry me a bit.
Vrabel's just a damn good head coach.
He's just a great head coach,
I
man.
fucking hate it.
I hate it. Yeah, man. We went through another fucking argument I have with my brother-in-law all the time. I said, you have no idea what it's like to have a fucking dynasty in your division for 20 plus years, asshole. Like,
Yeah.
They've ruined my football fandom, that team. I hate them with a passion. And now they just restocked and came right back.
We had him in our building, man.
I know.
And the fucking Patriots offered him a freaking job. Ugh, I hate it.
We had Belichick on the podium.
Dude,
And the asshole wrote it on a fucking cocktail napkin.
When Tom Brady retired, I was like, thank fucking God, dude.
I know.
We actually have a chance to win the division. And then Josh Allen's like, hey, what's up,
Dude,
guys?
That bridge, that Buffalo Bills bridge, and then
listen, Robert Kraft was definitely tempering over when he was there, Bill Belichick with us. He was telling him to come over. I know people who were in real estate. He already bought a place there. before the Jets offered him the job. So there was major tampering going on. That team is a cheating team, and that's why we hate them so much because they cheated everything. It's like you cheat, you're not trying. No bullshit. You play sports because it's fair, not because I'm going to cheat and win. Dude, that's why I hate the Patriots
just
so
let us win
much.
a couple games, man.
Dude, no, just
Come on.
Yeah,
You wanna
you don't
win.
cheat. You don't cheat. You don't fucking record other teams' fucking practices during the Super Bowl.
Cameras
everything,
on the sideline.
everything they did. Cameras, deflated footballs. They did
Taking
everything.
air out of footballs.
Fucking
Oh, man.
cheaters.
That
man.
was their motto. That was their motto. And let me tell you something about that prick Tom Brady. He's as dirty as they get. Don't let his clean cut fool you. He's fucking dirty. He's a cheater.
He's never
Absolutely.
cool, man.
He's a full blown cheater. That guy. I can't
Absolutely.
stand him.
I hope he runs the Raiders into the ground.
Him and his
Me
boss,
too.
Robert Kraft, having getting a freaking hand job or somebody.
Yeah. Go
pays
get
for
your
it. What the
fucking
fuck,
hand
yeah.
jobs at your
I know.
fucking Chinese
I
masseuses.
had his money. I wouldn't need to get a hand job in a fucking masseuse.
Right? Yeah, I'd have
Come
a
on.
fucking. She'd be.
Dude, I
it'd be
have
done.
15
I'd have a
people.
25-year-old on my arm. It'd be over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Belichick has now.
it'd be done. Yeah, but that team, man, they're gonna be a thorn in our side for a while.
I despise
Unfortunately.
No, they're not. You know what?
Oh, Ricky, let me hear this. This is a hot take.
Listen, sometimes teams appear good, but then once somebody figures out how to beat them and that blueprint is out there,
True,
they fall
but-
off. And
Absolutely
listen,
right.
that-
And I'm telling you, Pons is going to pick him off twice the first time we play
I
him.
love this kid.
Ooh, Drake
I love
May?
this kid.
Pons
I
is
love
going
him.
to pick off
He's
him
he's
twice.
he's my
I'm
favorite
telling you.
guy.
I'm
It's gonna
telling
be
you, we got a
Mayday.
lockdown. We got a lockdown.
They're going to be calling for Mayday, Mayday,
Got him
Mayday.
at 50.
The,
I'm telling you.
I
next
think the
time you-
Texans
Sorry, go
defense
ahead, Ricky.
exposed their tackles last year and really exposed that offensive line. I do think that they've got weaknesses, and I'll tell you what, there was a clip on X earlier today with Drake May missing a wide open AJ Brown, and AJ Brown kind of
What do you guys think of May?
his body language, and he
I
wasn't
think
happy
May
about
is
it.
a
And
system
I'm like,
quarterback,
you know
just like
what?
the
This
last
is
quarterback
awesome.
they had.
I think he benefited from having Mike Vrabel and the 32nd easiest schedule in the National Football League. And they say there
Yes,
is no easy
and
schedule in
the
National
offensive
Football
coordinator.
League, but-
Derek, and the offensive coordinator.
Yep, Josh
Listen,
McDaniels.
Yep, Mike McDaniels.
I don't care if that motherfucker brings 10 puppies to his next press conference. He's
The
not
fact
going to
that-
get rid of that
the fact that
fucking
he was
Diana
even being-
Rossini shit
Yeah.
that easily.
Dude, hear it here first. Pons picking him off twice. I'm telling you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank
I
you,
love
Hawk.
it.
First game or one first game? Well, it'll be May's third year, but yeah, a junior slump for May.
Yeah, junior
I
slump.
could see it though.
I do.
AJ Brown, I'd probably much rather have Stephon.
I'll
Diggs
tell you
than
what.
AJ Brown.
I'll tell you
Maybe
what.
Scott.
Hey,
Go
if
ahead.
he doesn't get that ball, it's gonna be a problem. You better
I'm
feed
telling you,
him.
man, AJ Brown's the one guy that can blow up a fucking locker room.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you better he better get his 10 to 12 targets a game, or you're gonna hear about it in the papers.
He might take his shirt off.
And
Yeah.
Boston is not it's a small market, but it's you know how it is there. Like they're gonna make a big thing of it if he's not getting his touches.
The Patriots
Absolutely.
would be jack shit without Mike Vrabel. They would be fucking dog water garbage. They'd be picking in the top 5 just like they was before.
That's why coaching is so
important.
it really
detrimental.
is. And that's why, like, I can't even argue. What I was telling you about my brother-in-law. I can't even argue with him because even though John Harbaugh never won a Super Bowl, he's
He
a
got
great
one.
head
He got
coach.
one. He got one.
He did.
Flacco.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, but yeah, you're right. But still, he's a great head coach. He's a great. There's like you
Yeah,
can't.
How many coaches have won Super Bowl with 2 different teams?
0. Sean Payton would be the
No,
first.
there's got to be one. Sean Payton.
I don't think there was.
No, New
Zero.
Orleans.
Zero. I
Wow.
thought so. Because they
Wow.
were saying that Sean Payton could become the first if he would have won the Super Bowl with Denver.
Is that right? There's no coaches.
No.
0.
Guys, I hope so bad that Aaron Glenn becomes something. I'm so
Me too,
tired of
man.
I'm just so tired of not having I miss Rex, just the leader, the guy. Like you knew who was in charge. You Muji is, in my opinion, running this team right now, Connor.
No, he's doing the right thing as far as
He is.
getting the players that Glenn needs in order to succeed, and that's what
But
you want the GM to do.
I also think Muji is looking 2 steps ahead and
If he was looking
and
past,
saying to himself, if this doesn't work this year, I need to make sure my job is secure next year
Right,
as well.
right. Hence the 3.
I don't see that.
firsts.
No, because his first round draft pick showed everything you need to know.
What, David Bailey?
Yeah, instead of Reese. Yeah, if he was thinking
I
ahead.
think David Bailey's a better prospect than Reese. I think Reese
I know,
is,
but if you're building a team for the future, you take Reese. If you're building somebody
Why?
for Aaron Glenn, why?
yeah, pass rushing is
Because you're
the
developing a
elite.
team.
It's-
No, we're talking about future as opposed to best player now. He's trying to make Glenn succeed. So he's
Yeah,
giving
but
Glenn all the tools he needs.
I'm gonna
All his
hold
picks
off
are
on that because even though I was a big Reese guy myself,
Me too.
there's no guarantee that he's going to turn into that.
No, I know, but if you're building
Yeah.
something for the future instead of helping your head coach succeed, those are the picks that you're gonna do.
I think they're obviously two different players, but I harken back to last year with Abdul Carter. Light in the ass, got blown up all year, talked too much. I don't know that Reese is the same character. It's a different position. He's more of a 4-3 outside line. He's a will. I think he's a natural will linebacker, but I don't know that
Versatile.
He's a developmental player, okay? So that's my point, is that
Yeah.
if you're going to develop somebody who can be better than the first guy you picked, it's because you're developing a team. Or if you're going to help your head coach succeed, you're going to give him what he needs in his defense,
So
which
Love,
was
you're thinking that Mooch drafted Bailey over Reese to help Glenn succeed now.
yeah, because he's helping his coach succeed. That's what his job is.
yes,
I'd agree with that, but
I agree.
I don't know if you trade Sauce and Quinnen without trying to cover your own hide as well.
No, he trade Source and Quentin because the team was not the team that Glenn
We
can,
were 0-7
can move
with
forward.
them. Yeah.
No, I know, but they tried to do something with the team that wasn't Glenn's kind of team. They took Salah's team and tried to make it something, and then they said, "No, we're going to fucking blow this shit up. I'm going to get some draft picks. We're going to move forward to the future, and we're going to get Glenn the guys he needs to succeed." And that's what I see.
Yeah. I like that it was a collective effort. I like your point. I think hypothetical situation. Definitely hope this don't happen. Team starts 1-4, 1-5. AG's out the door. Does
I don't even want to think about that, dude.
No, me
HE
neither.
is
Me neither.
staying the entire season, whether we
think
win
so,
a game
no
or
matter
not.
what.
I agree with that.
No
I think
matter
no
what.
matter what, yeah,
I think if you kept
Dude,
this on,
what
I
are you
don't
trying
wanna
to do
fire
at that
another
point?
coach.
What are you
then it
trying
would
to
be
do at that
Frank
point?
Reich.
I don't want to fire another head coach in season.
No, you can't do that. That's too.
I would not like that.
You can't. You
I
just
don't think that's going to happen.
no,
I don't either.
no.
It's only
It would
happened
have
once.
to be a disaster, like an
Does
absolute.
anybody know the odds on that? I'd like to bet it.
Man,
Don't-
I hope.
I don't even want to
even-
put that in the fucking ethos.
Don't you put that evil in me, Ricky? Don't you put
James,
that
you're the
evil
man. I love you, James.
I
You're the
appreciate
man.
it.
man.
Yeah,
This is
thanks,
good
man.
banter. I do like it. I think we just got to see it. It's too much to speculate now. We got to after week 1, we're gonna have a lot more firm grasp on the future of the franchise. But I think that you can look at what Moochie's doing, having 3 firsts next year. I mean, I think it's safe to say even if AG wins or loses, and like everybody wants AG to win, like I would
Yeah.
hope. Like no matter what happens.
Definitely, he's
I
set up for the future. He's
I think
definitely set up for the future. But this team is built. He got a lot of
win
1-year
now.
deals. It's for Glenn to win now or not.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But it's built to win now, but I love the way that he did it. Like I'm a big Muji fan. We have the more salary cap than any other team in the NFL going in.
I know, but seriously though, hope he doesn't do what Joe D did. You know, he built a great team and got everything. Everyone was happy about it, but he had
Joe
no
D-
backup quarterback. No backup quarterback.
I love Joe.
No backup
Douglas.
quarterback. No backup quarterback.
Joe Douglas drafted great outside of Zach Wilson. But all
Exactly.
free
The quarterback
agency
Dude, that's a
acquisition-
great fucking point. Joe Douglas gets a bad rap, guys. I'm sorry.
He's one of the best drafters we've ever had.
He
Not
But it's free
Muji.
agency.
Muji's better, I think. We'll
I think so
see.
too, but
Muji's
it's
better
only-
at the
it's only-
trades.
Muji's only had 2 drafts compared to
True.
Saul's 4.
The trades,
but
my man. Yes,
I
the
love,
trades.
yeah. For in terms of value for picks, Muji definitely better. And I love
yeah.
Joe Douglas. I was
But
bummed
still,
when they fired him.
Who's our backup?
Joe Douglas didn't
Who's our
have bad
backup?
drafts.
I know,
but-
but they're none available, man.
That
They're
was my
none available.
question. Go ahead. That's my question next.
The thing
Actually,
with Joe Douglas is he was great during the off season,
He sucked.
but
in free
then once the
agency.
season started, he thought his job was over with. He didn't make trades at the trade deadline.
True.
He
Very
didn't
true,
bring
Ricky.
in Free agents. He ignored the kicking situation when it went bad. He didn't bring in a backup quarterback.
We don't have a kicker.
Like-
We don't have a backup quarterback. What?
Like, so it's so weird that he was so
Whoa.
proactive during the off season, but then did nothing in season.
all right. So, all right, Ricky, I gotta respond to this. We don't have a backup quarterback. What? Right?
And no backup.
I
kicker.
agree.
I'll take
I
6
have no
first round
argument.
picks over no backup quarterback and no.
I have no argument. Is Cade? Is Cade the
Oh,
guy?
Luffy.
I don't know.
I think Sanders is.
Yeah.
But I
We're
like
gonna
that they're
we're
be
gonna
bad
find
on it.
out. They're gonna give him a lot of run in the preseason, but
Yeah.
when it gets to be cut down day and everybody cuts down to their 53, there's going to be other guys that get let go, and I
Such
think
as
we'll end up adding a
what vets are going to get let go?
We'll end up adding somebody who did 8-1. Okay.
I don't like the backup quarterback argument because we got 6 first-round draft
Yeah,
picks.
we got
in 2 years.
Zappy. We got Zappy.
But
We got Bailey Zappi, the
who do the Chiefs?
ex-Patriots.
Who do the Chiefs got? They got Nussmeier. Like you could say that for any NFL.
I'll
team.
tell you what. Not gonna
what-
lie, I
I
was a
mean, I just-
Nussmeier guy coming out of the draft. I really was.
I
like
like Nussmeier a lot, but it's so
I
unfair
was.
because
I
you
was.
take the
I'd like to
starting
coach
quarterback-
his son. That's a quarterback.
If you take the starting quarterback, that's a starter for any other NFL team, and you ask your backup to take them to the playoffs, you're gonna have what 4 or 5 teams capable. You're gonna have a Mac Jones. You're gonna have maybe like a Jacoby. Like it just, I don't. But the backup kicker's valid. But love you,
I'll-
man. I can't get down. But I do agree though because Zappy, like, come on, man. But there's still maybe a Cooper Rush, or like, are we gonna get excited about that, or a Gardner Minshew? Like it's like
Gardner
I would-
Minshew is actually a good
Gardner
backup.
Minshew. I'll
He's
fucking
actually a good
shit
backup.
on his shoe. No way.
No, he's a good backup. He's a good backup. He'll get you.
That-
He'll
yeah,
get
yeah,
you
I'm
there
talking
for
about
like a
backups.
game or two.
Yeah, because Luppy
Yeah,
is
I
like,
want.
the
I mean-
criticism is fair to Love Man, but like
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what if Cade can get you through a couple games? If he starts, is he going to go back on the bench? That's the thing.
yeah,
And let's say, let's not even. I hate putting this out there, but God forbid Gino has to miss a game, right? And we
need
don't.
that.
It's Cade and Bailey.
yeah.
If
it's
Cade
rough.
goes in and he plays well, does Gino go back in? That's the problem. That's the problem with not having another established veteran.
yeah,
Because
then you're
in the New York media, that causes a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, because then you're in a Belichick like Mac Jones gets hurt, and then he started Bailey Zappi, and then he didn't know who to go back to, and I think ultimately that might have ended up being what cost him his job. But it's just too tough. I think you just have to hope that all of our players can just get through training camp healthy. But
Yeah,
I mean,
can we
Lucky
just-
proves a good point. I mean, but if the only 2 criticisms on Muji are he didn't do anything for a backup quarterback or kicker, I just think it's fair to say that if any NFL team of all 32 teams,
I'm not gonna lie,
starting
kicker fucking
quarterback,
scares me.
Kicker, I got a lot of faith in Banjo.
I do too. I like Chris Banjo a lot.
What do you have? You probably have 5 to 7 elite kickers in the NFL. I think a lot of teams, and they get hurt like so frequently.
They should have re-signed Nick Folk.
It is a very important position that I kind of would have liked to address in the draft.
We're not there though. So maybe they saw something in Falk that was not okay,
What
because
is that?
anybody in their right mind would have re-signed him, unless
No,
he saw
but-
something.
He was good. He was very solid.
He was solid. He was solid. Yes.
You missed what 2 kicks all year? One or two.
Yeah,
One or two? Yeah, one or two,
Yeah.
maybe one. But I
Yeah,
think
but
he's
he
the
did-
all-time. Isn't the all-time Jets field goal percentage?
probably. But
Percentage
you know,
wise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Good
some
quarterback
some
level.
stat like that, some fucking wacky stat like that. But
Right,
he
but
was a great kicker for us.
you don't think the coach who had the best year for us last year,
Chris Banjo.
he did, yes, had
Yes.
the best year for us.
I agree.
Doesn't have a say in this, so there
Yeah.
has to be something to it. So
I-
I will trust. I will trust in this guy.
But who do we have right now? Who's the fucking kicker?
Jason
Sanders,
from Miami,
probably.
and
Yeah,
Cade
he
York.
blows
Cade York. He's got an 84.6 field goal percentage.
inside what?
Dude, I
40?
got more faith in
In
Banjo
general,
than I do
in
Glenn.
general.
Okay.
In general.
And he made 7 field goals against the Jets when he was with Miami at MetLife. So he's used to kicking in some bad weather in
All right.
MetLife Stadium.
Listen, I really don't care who it is as long as you're reliable. And
Just make
it's
field
such an
goals.
underrated part of the sport.
Yes,
it
it
really
is.
is.
Really
And when you
is.
look at the amount of games that are decided by 3 points or less, it's definitely important. This was like a big topic the other day that a bunch of us were talking about, and
I think it's fair.
like there were people that thought that special teams weren't talked about enough. There were other people that were saying offense and defense are just far more important, and that it doesn't count for as much. But
That's a bunch of bullshit.
dude, you got to have all 3 phases. Period.
Yeah.
And I want a good kicker, dude. I've lived through the Doug Bryan missed kick that screwed us.
Oh,
out of the playoffs.
04.
Yeah.
Out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
I remember it very well.
Came back from that game, too.
I've seen a game with 3 seconds left that we should have fucking won, that we kicked it right to the fucking Patriots punt returner, and fucking he scores on us. And we end up losing that fucking game. So special teams absolutely fucking counts.
And special teams was
uh,
probably the only thing that kept us in games last year. With how
Yeah.
bad
And
our
why do such good head coaches, great head coaches, were special teams coaches for whatever reason? I'm not sure why.
Yep.
A lot of good head coaches were special teams coaches.
Yes,
They
there was Sean
evaluate and
Payton,
develop
Sean
talent,
Payton,
that's
John
why.
Harbaugh. Yeah.
John Harbaugh is one of them right there. Yeah,
Yep.
Because they evaluate and develop talent. That's why.
that's true. Yep.
Yeah, that's why
And
you
it's
want to hit
it's
on
a deep
rounds.
part of the team. Yeah.
That's why you want to hit on rounds 4 through 7. Because even if they're your gunner, you better hit, because the value that special teams brings can be the difference between you.
Well,
and,
We see
Arian Smith,
Chad.
he better hope that he can cover some punts this year, or else his ass is gone.
You see guys like Chad Cascadden come up through the ranks of special teams and to be a great linebacker for us. I mean, there's a lot of them. So,
Yeah,
I actually love our gunners and Stiggers and Arian Smith.
I'm a big Quantez Stiggers fan. I really am.
I like
I don't like a lot of people. A
So
lot of
is
Jets
Nate.
fans don't like him. What happened?
So is Nate.
Oh yeah.
So is who?
You don't know Nate? Nate. You don't know Nate?
No, I don't know who that
Dude,
is.
Nate's got his jersey. Nate's got his fucking phone number.
Yeah,
Nate-
I mean,
Nate-
I wouldn't. I
he
wouldn't.
met
I
their
wouldn't go
parents.
that. I wouldn't go that far with it, but I like him. I think he's a very solid. I think he's a great special teamer, and
Yeah,
he's good for
I-
morale. He's a good
solid
morale guy.
CB4, CB5. When he
He's a
had to cover last
CB5, and
year,
that's okay.
he's
That's okay.
sticky. He was sticky last year when we needed him.
He can when he gets called. When his number's called, he plays. I mean, he might get
plays hard.
toasted a couple times, but he's going to give
James.
you 100%. Yeah,
110%. That's what he does.
yeah, he does. He tries his ass off. So, well, I mean, he's from the Canadian League. He fucking had to
Yeah.
bust his ass to get here. So
MVP.
he was right. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't even know you could draft Canadian football players. I think we got him in the 5th round? Oh, Mark
Something-
Levy.
I thought he was undrafted.
No, we took him in the 5th, I think.
Really?
I think so.
What year was that? 2022?
Would have been
Somewhere
Solace.
around there.
Solace last year.
Who are you talking
Fire.
about?
Quantez Stiggers.
Oh. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
22, right?
I think.
I want to say 23.
It might be
24.
22.
24.
What? No way.
Yeah. year before last. Fifth,
Why does it feel like he's been around for fucking 5 years?
It does feel like it's been around longer than that.
176.
Because
Fifth
50%
round.
of our players haven't been. That's why.
Yeah, that was
He
the
feels
year.
like he's been around for. Yeah, that's true. He
Solid
feels
got
like he's been
fired.
around for a fucking while.
Yeah, he's a
Well,
good gunner.
I know at one of the games in his rookie year, that's when Nate met his parents, and he was telling them like, "Oh yeah, I'm a big Stiggers fan and stuff," and they were like, "Oh, well, do you want to get a picture with him or something like that?" And
That's dope.
He had his
somehow
jersey.
it ended up where like they gave Stiggers Nate's phone number, and like he ended up texting him or something, and he ended up getting his picture with him. But dude, Nate's got a Stiggers jersey. Like he's like the leader of the Stiggers fan club for sure.
Yeah,
I'll tell
I
you
feel
what.
like
I like a try hard guy. I like the guy that he's not super athletic. He's not super fucking. He's not an Adonis by any means, but he is
football
what he is.
mentality.
He is he
Levy's
is
point,
Bet.
110%.
yeah,
Like
110%. He's full go every time he touches in between the white lines, and I like that.
like a Julian Edelman mentality.
Exactly. Even though that little prick ruined our fucking lives.
Right.
Yeah, he
Which
did.
you know what? That's what I like about all the guys that we have right now. Like all the guys we have right now, they've got that attitude. They want to be here. They want to be part of turning this thing around. And I like not only the physical ability, like playing capability, but I like the mentality of all the guys that Muji and Glenn have brought in.
Did you guys see the press conferences today?
Yeah, I
No,
seen. I seen
Demario Davis.
Davis's,
Oh, Ricky, you got to check it. Demario Davis spoke. Gino spoke. David
Breeze.
Onyemata spoke. Bree spoke.
Yeah, there's some more
I
tomorrow
am
too.
going to have to watch those.
You got to watch those. Yeah,
I did, but they're gonna say good stuff. That's what they're gonna
of
do.
course.
They
I
do it
mean,
every
of
year.
course. I mean,
Yeah.
I just have to consume it. But yeah, they're gonna say.
Well,
They're gonna say
I
it to me.
always put a lot of stock into what the actual players say, so I enjoy watching those. And
Yeah, yeah.
I did Boy Green's show this morning, and then watched Jake's show, and then went to sleep and slept until about 45 minutes before my own show was supposed to start tonight. So, yeah, I missed all of that during the day today. Like I've got to get caught back up on today's news cycle when we get done tonight, which I'm probably going to start wrapping up here pretty soon, as it's almost midnight now.
Yeah, it's getting late. But Gino was good. Listen to him.
I definitely will. You know what? As a matter of fact, when we get done with this, that's probably exactly what I'm going to do is sit down and watch each one of those.
Yeah.
The energy around the building does seem different.
It does.
Man. It does.
And I think that's a sign of good things. Even the people that don't even cover Jets media, the vibe around the building in general just feels different. We won't know until hopefully it translates into wins. But I tend to think that it will, and I got a really good feeling about the season. I don't know why. And
I think the players are aware. I think the players, first off, I think they like AG, and I think that they are aware that he is on somewhat of a hot seat. Well, I say somewhat. You ask other people, they say he's on a very hot seat. I guess he is. So, but I think the players like him a lot. I think they really do. I don't think that's bullshit, and I think that
me neither.
I think that the whole franchise knows, like, all right, we really better fucking cross our T's and dot our I's this year, because if not, he's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, and listen, AG did make some mistakes, but I think he's corrected them, and I think he's going to show us that he's going to get things done this year.
But what I do have is
I
a
agree.
GED and a give 'em hell attitude, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah.
love that stuff.
No, I
yeah.
agree, guys.
Yeah, I think so too. Week 1, we're gonna find out real quick.
Listen,
Yep.
there's a lot of people that are gonna talk a lot of shit before that week. They don't scare me in the slightest. I'm sorry. They just don't. I don't care if we play them
I mean,
in
they are a
Bangladesh.
better team than people give them credit for. And like I said, the first game that I watched when I started doing film of them, and I did film on each of our opponents, dude, it was like sack Jeffrey Simmons, forced fumble Jeffrey Simmons, run stuff Jeffrey Simmons. It was like all him. He was all over the place.
He's a beast.
But then they had like 3 takeaways in that game as well, which shocked me. And it wasn't like elite corner play, baiting the quarterback and breaking on the ball. It was more like tip balls that they just happened to be in the right spot. But they came down with the picks and they capitalized on the other team's mistakes. And I was like,
Simmons.
damn, three takeaways in the first half. Like, damn, I didn't realize they were that good. I thought they were a worse team than that.
Simmons
So I think they're
is the only
better
player.
than people give them credit for. But at the same time, I think we're better than they are in just about every facet.
So I listen, my streamline's going crazy. I'm just going to say one thing before I go because I'm going to go now, Ricky and everybody.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off too.
Listen, Glenn, show me something. Show me beat the Titans. Come on, show me something and beat Salah, beat the Titans. Show me
Beat
something.
Salah.
You don't show me something. Week 1, I ain't a believer. You got to show
Love
me
it.
something.
Hell yeah.
Beat the
I think
Titans.
that's fair, Leppy.
I'm
Guys-
gonna end on that
But here's
note.
what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
Thanks
There
for
he
that
goes.
time,
He's showing you right there.
Love it.
Hey, I love you.
Hey, gentlemen, have a good night. It's a
You
pleasure.
keep
All
calling
right,
more,
man.
brother.
Have a good one, James.
man.
Have a
All
good
right,
one,
bro.
Leppy. Thank you both
Yeah.
for joining me. Appreciate it. Great conversation.
Night, Ricky.
Yeah, man. Derek, have a good one. And
Yeah. I'll see you
everybody,
next time,
I'm
bro.
going to start wrapping this thing up now.
Love y'all.
And again, a great conversation tonight. Listen, we can all speculate about, how things are going to look, what we would like to see happen. But at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to what they do. Guys are on the field tomorrow. We're going to get our first look at this team, a first look at this remade team. And I'm looking forward to it. I do think we're going to have a good year this year. I do think we're going to win more games than people think. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And I think we're going to have a good year. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you to everybody for joining me. I appreciate it. If you have not already, make sure you come to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. That's the best thing you can do for any content creator. It helps spread the word to other Jets fans like yourselves. This is Rickie New York Live, the Jets show that rocks. The place where Jets fans come to feel better. I can't wait for a good year this year, for real Jets football to be back, winning Jets football to be back, so that I can celebrate those wins with each and every one of you. I will be back on Saturday night. I will see you all then. Until then, everybody have a great night. Have a great week, and go Jets.
Thank you. Good night. We love you all.